Welcome back to the Texas Hill Country Insider. I'm Ryan Rendon Realty Group.
And I'm Steven Butcher with Butcher Baron Signature Homes.
So today we have just a fun podcast. We have a couple buddies on today, Tom Gromus, Carroll, and we're going to kind of just rehash and go over the elk hunt we all went on back in October of last year, 2025. So this is really just going to be a fun podcast. Talk about hunting, talk about life, kids, and stuff like that, of course, but we just really wanted to talk about our experience that we had in Colorado, and it was some fun times, some really funny moments. There were some hard moments, everything in between. And we're going to get after it. So, Tom, Brock, welcome to the podcast.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank you.
Fun.
Looking forward to it.
Absolutely. Okay. So, if y'all just want to give us, the listeners probably don't know who you are. Hopefully, we're kind of getting out there at this point. But if you just, each one of you want to give us a quick little background of who you are, where you've come from, all that good stuff. And
it's Blue Friday.
Yeah, I'm older. I can go first. A lot older. Tom Gromus. I live here in Fredericksburg. I originally grew up in Seattle, north of Seattle. Nobody's really from Seattle, but grew up hunting, fishing, and doing that kind of stuff. Went to college. What are we supposed to talk about ourselves?
Yeah.
I hate doing that.
A little
So
60-second little deal.
Yeah, so went to little Eastern Washington University. Was trying to major in football and beer, and ended up in ROTC and then in the Army, and so ended up at Fort Hood.
Yeah.
Ended up in Texas. Couldn't leave Texas.
Oh.
Love Texas.
And you did, how many years did you serve?
I was 6 on active duty, and then I did 5 in the National Guard.
Okay.
It was a great way to transition. It was fun.
Yeah.
Had a lot of fun in the Guard, honestly. A lot of my active buddies make fun of it, but I had a lot of fun. I got to be a company commander the whole time. It was great.
Yeah.
It was great.
Yeah.
Just go shoot guns in camp. It's great.
It's definitely a different environment from active duty. Of course, I'm a
very.
reservist, but I'm attached to an active duty unit, so I still, I'm part of the active duty world for 24 days. But what I've heard is what you're saying is it's way different. It's just way different. It's a different environment. You're still, all military guys like-minded, but this is different.
The crazy thing in the Guard is you could deploy as a company because you got cops, you got lawyers, you got you got the couple dudes that can really cook, and it's awesome. It's a lot of fun. You have that on active duty where guys are bringing their personal experiences to the table, but not as much because then you got a dude working construction, you got a dude working. I had one that was a superintendent on high rises, and then I had an electrician, and I had carpenters, and so it was awesome. We'd go somewhere, and they were like, "Oh, we can fix this, sure."
Yeah,
it was awesome.
Yeah,
so, and one of my lieutenants was a lawyer, and so if I ever had a real question on an issue, I'd be like, "Hey, man, how do we handle this?"
Right.
It's like, "Oh, no problem, I got you."
Yeah. That's awesome. So, and then you're married, of course, have 2 kiddos.
Yeah, married, 2 kids. I have a daughter who's 23.
Right.
So I have 3 kids. 2 here in Fredericksburg. She's in pharmacy school. But yeah, I have 2 at Ambleside.
Yeah.
We love it there. It's a perfect place for us. And
yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. We talked about that last episode. Is the amount of private schools we have here for such a small town is kind of wild. It's really kind of weird, but it's such a blessing too that we have these options here in little Fredericksburg, Texas. And
it is a blessing. There's nothing wrong with the public school system. It's just there are a lot of options to educate, and there are a ton of homeschoolers in Fredericksburg too. There are just a lot of options, and people. I think it's indicative of living in the hill country. The reason you don't want to live in a bigger town, you get to have choices and live in a small town. You get to choose how you want to educate. It's just we're very blessed to be out here.
Yeah, for sure. Brock, let's hear it.
Yeah, Brock Carroll, originally from Michigan, so born and raised there. Ended up Michigan State University, joined the corporate world out of there, and bounced all over the country. So, chemical industry for that whole time, and then East Coast, Michigan again, Houston, and then got engaged. We moved to Colorado, and right before that was when I wouldn't say the addiction to hunting started. That started when I was 3 with my dad.
Yeah.
I've got pictures going way back. He was into it. And but the Western stuff really kicked off then. And then convinced my wife to move out to Colorado so I could get tags easier and snowmobile more, ski more, do all the things that I loved. And
so you actually became a resident?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It made life a lot easier.
Yeah.
I could hunt all the western states a lot easier. And then moved back to Texas 2 years ago. So I had 2 little kids, 2 boys. My wife's from Kerrville, so I live in Kerrville. Yeah. My wife's from there. My in-laws were there, which meant we had some babysitters and some family. And we were getting priced out of Steamboat for what we wanted, where we were living. And great opportunities, great times out there, but it's been awesome to live in the hill country, like you said. Yeah. I was done with the big city stuff and ready. So it's been good. Good.
Yeah. But so how long did you live in Steamboat?
We technically only lived there for just under 2 years. We were in Fort Collins for 3 years.
For
that.
Okay.
And we had a place there for a while.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a beautiful state. I mean, golly, I been going there for, I don't know, probably 10 years or so now, not to hunt. Last year was the first time I've been there to hunt, but to snowboard and just have little vacations and stuff. And it's a beautiful state. A lot of people are leaving, for certain reasons, but it is one of the most beautiful states I've been to. I haven't traveled a whole lot, but, it's a cool place for sure.
But a lot of people are leaving, but you look at Denver, it's 1,000x in the last 20, 30 years.
Really?
Oh, this city's blown up, which just means that many more people in the landscape. You've got, you're fighting a lot of uphill legislative battles, but there's still a lot of great opportunity in the other states around it. I mean, Wyoming, New Mexico, you've got Kansas, and it just depends on what you want.
Yeah.
I think it's also, there's a lot of people going there to hunt. It's one of the easier places to deal with in draw and understand their process. Some of the places are very challenging. We can get into Montana draw.
Yeah.
Here, my broken heart, but I think their draw system and their over-the-counter system is probably one of the easier ones to understand, and so it's pretty easy to jump into hunting there. And so I think it gets a lot of traffic from the out-of-staters more than, I don't know, maybe some of the other places feel the same pain about out-of-staters, but Meeker was awesome. They were super welcoming, but
for sure, what a cool town.
But that's
it's also
about Colorado.
The closest state for all the Easterners, right?
Right.
They're coming in,
And
it's truly one of the last OTC opportunities for, well, not as a non-resident for archery anymore, but for second, third rifle season, you can still do OTC.
Maybe you're just gonna, single trip it from Pittsburgh. I don't know.
Yeah.
Some guys do that.
Some guys do it. Some guys do
we'll
it.
get into that too.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, what about wife and kids?
Yeah.
You left that off.
Wonderful. What? 2 kids? I got a wonderful wife. My wife's fabulous. That's why, we're here. She moved with me. She was open and willing to go take the adventure out of Houston, go outside away from her family. She's an only child, so it was a little more challenging for her to leave her family. But no, we grew a ton together, learned a lot about each other and ourselves, moving away, had a wonderful opportunity. But she was sick of the snow, having kids, just not having family nearby.
Yeah.
I was traveling a ton for work, so she was stuck in the snow. And that's not her game, right? Being a Texas gal, born and raised, she was like, get me out of here. She likes those Bluebird ski days on every other day. I was like, it's dumping snow, I'm going out.
That's funny.
Yeah. It worked out well. But no, she's a blessing. 2 little boys, 3.5 and almost a year. So hunting's changed a little bit from
almost
what it was
already?
when we were, next month.
That's crazy.
That is insane to think about.
Yeah, time flies, man. I feel like
priorities have
especially with
shifted.
kids. Yeah, priorities definitely shift, and we've talked a lot about that during these our first few episodes. But man, like I don't know, as soon as you start having kids, I know you've all experienced it, but goodness gracious, like life is just flying by, And then now getting into hunting, you have this date set in your mind of when you're trying to prepare for, putting in for the tags, all the the gear you have to update and all this stuff, and it's like, so you have kids making time fly by, and then you're like, me being in real estate, I'm always looking at dates, 45 days out, and then now hunting, Western hunting is like, life is just going to be, it's just fine, man. I don't know.
Yeah, and I don't have kids, but all of you guys do, and then it's like, oh, Brett's having a year birthday. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Like, I'm living through y'all's kids by just how old they get. I'm like, man, this time is flying by. It's
It doesn't
crazy.
slow down.
No.
Yeah, David just turned 7. Ellie's gonna be 5 here in a minute, and at the end of this month. And man, it gets, every stage is fun and hard and challenge. Like they're all fun and challenging, and every age is hard and fun in different ways. But like getting to go hunting with him shooting his first turkey was, dude,
Those are so
it's
cool.
coming.
So cool,
It's so
Pictures are
fun.
great.
Yeah.
It's so fun.
Well, that reminds me of, you said you started going out to Colorado when you were 11, right? That's what I've been telling people.
Yeah, I went to New Mexico with my dad when I was 10.
10.
Yep.
Okay.
So he had a deal where one of 4, and when we turned 10, we would always go and do a trip with just father-son trip.
Yeah.
And we had to pick where we'd go. And so I wanted to go hunting.
Mm-hmm.
And so we went to New Mexico, hunted out there, shot my first elk when I was 10. And
Kidding.
yeah, from then on it was.
Is that public?
No, it was on a ranch.
Okay.
A big ranch in North New Mexico.
Yeah.
My dad had hunted out there with a guy that he had met basically every year. Him and my uncle would go,
Yeah.
whether it was archery or rifle. And so, that was up in Cuesta, and yeah, beautiful country.
Mm-hmm.
So got to do that, but then I didn't go again until that was 2000, and then I went. 2019 was the next time I went elk hunting. So
Whoa.
yeah, excited.
10 and he turned 10
High school.
in 2000. Okay. Carry the one.
90 baby. So
80.
Yeah.
you got this decade on me. Just got a decade of experience.
Not too bad. Yeah.
Decade of wisdom.
Yes.
There you go.
You're my like outdoor light. You're my ultralight gear guy though.
Yes.
If I'm trying to find a piece of gear, I got a couple guys I'd call if it's a gun, a couple guys I'd call if it was a bow. But if it's gear, it's Brock. Like Brock knows all the details on gear.
I'm not a high roxer. I'm not a CrossFitter or a high roxer.
yeah.
So I need to shave that weight. Right?
I don't
I'm
call
so
you
little
for
guy.
high rocks advice.
So no, I need the ultralight.
Yeah.
Don't get on the CrossFit High Rocks conversation.
Oh, yeah.
Hey,
Why would
if you're out putting in work, you're doing better than most. So cool.
I agree.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Well, so while we're on it, I want to definitely talk about y'all's, kind of growing up with hunting and stuff, how you got into it. So you've been touching on it a little bit. First elk at 10. The next time was in 2019. So it's a pretty big gap, but you still hunted in Michigan. And yeah.
I mean,
when did you start bow hunting?
I shot my first deer with a bow when I was 12.
Okay.
So that was the
Pretty young,
legal
yeah.
age for Michigan. You had to be 12 years old with a bow.
And that's not at a
then.
feeder like here in Texas.
No, we could bait then.
Oh, you could?
And so you could bait.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was first one was a doe, and then I shot a little four point, and then my parents, where we lived was back in the woods and up against a state game area, so I could hunt right out the backyard. So, I mean, my parents from the age of 12 on, they let me skip school for opening day every year through high school.
Heck yeah.
And it was my birthday was the day before opening day of archery season every year. It's always October 1st. My birthday's September 30th. So what I want for my birthday, I wanted to go hunting the next day.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was
Love
great.
that, man.
I've hunted college. I changed my schedule. I got into waterfowl pretty hard back then, just because I didn't have great spots to hunt whitetail. In high school, some buddies that had property like near the city, and they had a doe problem, so I was always just
Slaying does.
Yeah, whatever I could. Loved it. Donate it. Do whatever if freezers were full. But then I got into waterfowl, and I was changing my schedule so I could hunt in the mornings. I'd go out and duck hunt by myself, goose hunt, whatever, and then go to class, come back. A lot of beer, a lot of football. Get up, do it again the next morning. It was, some fun times for sure. But then I got back into big game. Traveling, living out east was tough. I didn't hunt a ton. I'd go back to Michigan and hunt a little bit, do some waterfowl stuff, and then moved to Houston and just got that itch. And I felt that void in my life just because it was such a big part. I mean, living in these cities was difficult.
Yeah.
And so I finally got connected with a buddy and was like, hey, I'm going to go do this. Do you want to go? And so set up a trip. Had some buddies that were hunting OTC stuff, Colorado, got some feedback from them, general areas, and just put together a trip for him and I. And killed a bull that first year, third day of season. A lot of pressure, a lot of typical Colorado OTC stuff, but got some tips from a local CPW officer, so Parks and Wildlife guy, and on a chunk that we'd been looking at, and he's like, I see some elk up here every once in a while, and hiked in there, and sure enough, there were elk. I was by myself. My buddy forgot his med spec. He gets migraines, and so He was having one. He went back, and so I was like, I'm gonna go check the spot. Hiked in there. Sure enough, stalked down those bulls. Yeah.
Heck yeah.
So, and then the rest is
Did you have
history.
to pack it out yourself too? Because he
came back.
Yeah.
And I was telling Steven yesterday, we had a buddy's birthday dinner. I was telling him, I was like, oh, this guy, he had such bad, he was afraid of heights. Like, I mean, not just afraid of heights, he was petrified of heights.
Oh gosh.
And you know, that hike in's not, it's steep, but it's not that bad. Yeah, it's Colorado.
There's some spots where it's.
He wouldn't go in there anymore. Like he was scared to come in and help me pack that because he didn't.
He'd only go up the other side or what?
No, he'd go up, but he didn't want to come back down because he had the seat going down.
Yeah.
And
I guess there is another way in there. Well, not really.
No,
you have to go that way
because you have to take the public chunk in is the only way. So he did one trip with me, and he's like, I can't. He's like, I can't go back in.
Oh my god.
So but it was huge, right? That one trip was great, and so we did in 3 because we each took one, and then I went in the next day and packed out that last load, and I still had a bear tag, so I sat there for a while, but nothing came in. So.
Yeah.
And then I've been every year. Shoot, I've killed an elk every year, 1 to 3 elk every year since then.
Wow.
Except for
last year.
this last year, because
you got your ram.
I was fortunate enough
I can't
to
wait to
draw,
hear about it. If we have
draw
time.
that tag. So that priority shifted. I turned that tag back in and then just focused on the sheep.
Yeah.
So
what a crazy experience. If we have time, we'll maybe touch on that too. But obviously, we're going to try to focus on our hunt. But Tom, when did you start?
Well, to be fair, his ram hunt was part of our hunt.
It really was.
That changed the
It's
dynamic.
it changed it, and we talked about it the entire time.
Yeah,
we were all so fascinated by it.
Yeah.
I grew up in Washington State in a tiny little part of Washington, about 25 miles from the Canadian border, and we lived in you were either a dairy farmer or a logger or somebody that supported that. My dad was an electrician. And then he became a teacher, and my mom worked several different things. I think they refer to it as like nutritional service, but she was like a cook in school. Always worked. So I grew up pretty fortunate just from their work ethic. I don't know that we were poor, but we were pretty poor because they just worked all the time. So we did have things, which I was blessed to have parents that felt that way about life and gave me a lot of opportunities. Anyways, hunting was never about going anywhere or doing anything except shooting ducks in the back pond behind our house in the 100 acres that are. So we lived on 5 acres and we were surrounded by cornfields and different things like that. And so in the back there was a pond that I'd go shoot ducks off of to fill the freezer, and then we'd go kill a couple deer out of the logging area just north of my house, straight out our back door. You'd walk about 2 miles and there were deer in there. Killed a lot of those. But the first thing I ever killed by myself back there was I was 10 or 11, I think, by myself. And I had like one of those plastic tobogganing sleds and drug it back to the house. It's pretty painful. And then the other direction, and we had like pigs and cows that we would butcher for our freezer.
Yeah.
And then if you went the other direction, it was the river. It was the South Fork of the Nooksack, and you'd go in there and just, netting was illegal, but you'd be snagging them. You'd be getting them in, and I bought a fly rod recently, and I've never fly fished because it was never leisure, right? Fishing was never leisurely. So getting into that. So hunting now is pretty leisurely for me. The grind and enjoying the hunting. The first thing I ever killed outside of Washington or Texas was 2023. A buddy and I went to Montana to hunt pronghorn on the Crow Indian Reservation. It's pretty sweet.
Oh, okay.
Our guide was the game warden, a native, and it was so awesome. We'd be like on a little rise, and he'd be like, "Come up here, hey, right here." And I shot a pronghorn, pretty cool pronghorn at 607. It was pretty fun.
Oh, really?
That's awesome. Nice.
Yeah. And that was the first thing I'd ever shot outside of Washington or Texas.
Pronghorn,
It's almost as impressive as Steven's shot.
Almost.
Almost.
But here in Texas, my wife has family land, so we it's high fence, so we kill a lot of whitetail every year just for work. It's busy.
Yeah, right.
It's busy.
Yeah.
So for the past, I guess, 14 years, we've been since we started dating. I kind of took the helm on helping with the whitetail killing. So I kill a lot of whitetail every year, but
Not a bad gig.
We have some elk too, so we cull a couple elk off the property too. But getting out west, it's about the camping and the
you definitely caught the bug.
Oh yeah, for sure. Once you're out there, it's just I grew up in the Northwest, and so the Northwest calls. It's just not a great place I don't want to live there.
Mm-hmm.
I like to come back to Texas.
So, do you have a gap where you didn't do much outdoor activity from you obviously grew up doing it, and then did you have a lapse?
College we didn't do a ton. There was some fishing nearby. I regret that we didn't get out and hunt more during college. And then while I was in the Army, I was at Fort Hood. I didn't hunt at all. I mean, I went to Benning, went to the infantry school, did all that stuff. And then when we deployed to Iraq in 2005, I mean, then we come back, go to school, go to another Army school, went back to Iraq 18 months later, came back. It wasn't until I got to Fredericksburg that I really started getting back into hunting. Yeah. So that was 2010. Yeah. Had a few friends. I came to work at the hospital and had a few friends that, I shared my love of the outdoors, and they were like, "Oh yeah, cool. We're going dove hunting. Sweet, let's go." Yeah. And then just connected with guys at the hospital to do a little hunting around in Texas. So really got back into it in 9-10 time frame.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's definitely
but catching the bug, man, I shot a turkey last year. Shout out to my buddy Jacob Clark, who's a big bird hunter. He was very passionate about bird hunting. Mm-hmm. He was like, let's go maybe turkey hunt. And I was like, it's just so much work for like so little meat. Like, I don't know. And then you call one in and you're like, oh yep. I remember why I love this. And then me and my boy called one in. That's catching the bug.
Really?
Turkey hunting will get you.
No, I've heard that. Leanne said that
They're
too.
so close.
Yeah, she did. Yeah.
That's the problem. They're right next to you.
Well, I think that's why I like bow hunting so much when I was a kid, because even though I was at a feeder, you can hear eating on that corn and you're right there. And I've never shot a turkey. I shot one with a bow it started pouring down rain. This is out in Mason when I was in high school. And I shot one and it started pouring down rain and I didn't think I hit it. Well, come to find out like a week later when we came back out, there was a 15-yard away. There was a huge pile of turkey feathers. Like, oh crap, I had to get. But the rain kind of pushed me out. I was like, I got to go. This is dumping down, But yeah, I've never shot a turkey. Outside of that,
killed a lot of turkeys.
But
it's I don't know. Turkeys were the Midwest in Michigan. I grew up in Grand Rapids, and there's a lot of birds, so it wasn't a challenging hunt most of the time.
Really,
where you could call, they find them where they roost, and they were in our yard all the time. So it wasn't like that where you come. And I've been on a couple good turkey hunts where you're calling the birds, they're spitting and drumming, and it's fun. But I don't know. I've chased enough bugling bulls now that I'm like, that's good. But it's there's people that are fired up. That is turkey hunting is their life. I got some buddies in Arkansas and the Southeast, and they live for turkey hunting. Yeah. And it's great. I haven't had enough of those experiences to where I spend my time in the spring. My brownie points, right, with my wife and family are all saved for the fall. I'm trying to build those up, not burn them this time of the year. Otherwise, it's too fresh when I start telling her what tags I draw.
For sure.
The key is my wife rides horses. She's an equestrian, and so the key is yes, honey, go on that trip. I got the kids here at the house. You go by yourself. Go do your thing. And then, I in pure honesty, I'm doing it because she loves it. But, Yeah. Hey, remember that trip you just went on? I gotta go kill some turkeys.
Yeah.
Well, now I can take one of them with me. That's the beauty.
Huge. I can't wait for that.
It's amazing when you can take one of them with you.
Yeah.
David shot his first turkey, and him doing he was so fired up. It was so fun because
videos were awesome.
He got fired up about it.
Yeah.
So much fun.
Well, that's one of the best experiences is watching. I mean, I love shooting animals. Don't get me wrong, but it is really fun to watch other people. You know, especially that have never shot an elk like Ryan for instance. I mean, that was exciting.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Well, and getting up there and helping y'all with that mule deer, like getting to be a part of that. I agree. It's so much fun with other.
And that was a blessing in itself.
When you get to be a part of other people's hunt, it's an honor when people ask you to be a part of their hunt. Because you get to experience it with them.
For sure.
Yeah, so it all really kind of began with you. I hunting elk or going out west wasn't really on my radar, really. And then you just asked me one day, hey, you text me, I'm going to elk hunt. I was like, oh, yeah. We talked to Andrea, and I said, yeah. She said, yeah, sure. So that kind of started our whole trip, I guess you could say. And then you introduced me to Brock, because I don't think I knew you yet up to that point. So you got us on that group chat. And then it was, we started that whole planning process. You were kind of showing us how to apply for the tags and all that stuff, because at that time it was a draw. So we started that whole process, and then it wasn't for like a couple months, I guess. I started talking to you about it, Tom, at the gym, and you had some stuff planned out. Was that the only trip you went on last year?
Yeah, Western. That was the only thing I did. Yeah. So
had that conversation with Tom, and the next thing you know, the four of us are in a group chat, and there's so much leading up to West Texas or Western hunting, West Texas, Western hunting that, for those of you who have never been on a hunt like this, there's a lot of planning involved for sure. And we spend a lot of time practicing long range shooting, getting new rifles, gear, all this stuff. Brock is a big part of that. Fitness. Yeah. Most of us here, well,
I think initially the first conversation we had, I was like, you said something about, I was like, you need help packing, I'll go with you.
Yeah,
I'm down to camp.
Camp.
Yeah, I'm down to go on. Well, I ended up going camping because I didn't shoot anything. But I mean, I talked to another buddy about a similar hunt. I was like, heck, I'll just buy a bear tag. Let your boy shoot an elk,
right?
Because he's 12 this year. So.
Yeah. So and then just the whole planning process and gear, and of course, gear wise, you were a huge help with like figuring out what we needed and all that good stuff. Because I didn't have anything, and you didn't either.
Just open your gun.
That's
you're
a big part of that.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, of course, I've a little bit of experience with shooting in the military, and I grew up, I grew up hunting and all that. So, but it was always basically within 100 yards at feeders and stuff. So the dope of a rifle, what is it, data on, what's a dope stand for?
Data on previous engagement. Basically knowing your rifle. And, so we started going out to your place and knowing the rifle, reaching out to 400, 750, 1,000 yards and actually hitting metal. We're like, holy cow, this is so fun. And so all that kind of leading up to our hunt, which ultimately was in October. I don't know, you want to add anything on kind of like the process of how we got there?
Yeah, I mean, it kind of just was a trickle effect. Brock got me into it, and I've gone elk hunting before, but it was on, private property, and you got fed 3 times a day, and like it was, it wasn't really much hunting.
Also,
you guys wanted an adventure.
Also, a nice way to hunt.
Yeah, and it was great. I had I had a great time.
I'm down for all the murder. I'll do it any way you let me.
Right. Nice hot showers,
Lovely.
Yeah. But yeah, it was a Brock got me into it. Then of course I got Ryan sucked into it. Mm-hmm. Probably should have had a better relationship with my gun before I went out, but we'll get to that. But we'll get to that. Yeah.
Well, actually, no. It all kind of started before we left, because I remember we were at your place in Blanco, and you started. We were firing. You just got your new rifle, and you had some issue. Wasn't it at your place where it had some issues? A couple misfires?
I think so. I'm pretty sure I did.
This is like a custom made rifle at this company here in Texas.
But I had a PRC too, and I had to change the pins, or change the spring on the firing pin, and I had a very similar issue with mine.
Yeah. Well, so we were, were on the range, and he had some misfires and all that. And then, but it started firing, and we thought everything was okay.
But before the listeners beat us up, that's a 6.5 PRC, not a 6.5 Creedmoor.
Yes.
Right.
Okay.
Well,
just for the record.
Let's be clear. He does have a 6.5 Creedmoor
I
too,
do
because
too.
he came and shot with me.
I do too.
And the ammo he was shooting and it wasn't going off again. He's like, dude, his gun. Oh, no. And then he called the guy, like, this is crazy, because I got a 6.5 PRC. And so we were shooting that. I was like, try this. And he had just grabbed the wrong box of ammo. So we didn't even, And it fired that day. It fired fine.
That's true. It did.
You'll have
That was a Carroll, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it was on Lakey.
Yeah. Oh, that was out Lakey. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. And that gun was dialed.
It was. It was great.
dialed.
Yeah.
When it shot.
When it shot. Just didn't know if it was going to shoot or not.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when we left, about a week? Or no, so the season opens up in Saturday. We left
We had
Wednesday?
second rifle.
Thursday?
Second rifle.
Did we leave Thursday or Wednesday? Wednesday.
I think it was Wednesday. Yeah.
Because we were fully in there Friday.
That's right. Yeah, yeah. Because we had
We
to stop
slept
in
there
Pueblo
Thursday
on
night.
the way.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, we got out there Thursday night, kind of figured out where our campsite was, and then we stayed.
Oh, no, we went to the hotel.
You guys bailed out
that's
of
right.
it.
Yeah, we did stay. Did we drop anything off? Yeah, we set the camp and all that, and then
That's
we went
right.
and stayed. Yeah, that's right.
Got a
Kind
shower.
of staked the spot.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
I'll preface this a little bit. This is a spot that I've hunted for years now, kind of a spot that I've found in western Colorado. And it's Steven and I had discussions around, he wanted to go out on an elk hunt, a DIY western hunt.
Mm-hmm.
And versus different than, a guided hunt. And so this was more a cut your teeth for true western hunting, not a, hey, we're going 10 miles deep, we're taking horses,
Right,
we're doing that.
right.
This is a, it's road accessible. We can hunt a few different pockets from here. This is not a, hey, we're sending it first trip out, right?
Yeah.
You guys are getting gear, getting situated. This was a good, let's see if you like it before we go and take those next steps in the future.
Yeah.
And so that's why I figured it'd be good. It's a good one to take a few guys on. But I did know there's going to be pressure in these areas.
Yeah.
It's relatively accessible, and so
Yeah.
you're going to have that. But there's a good camping spot off this seasonal road that you can get in. And so I had to stay back just for some corporate obligations, and since I was taking 2 weeks off to hunt due to the sheep hunt, but still wanted to go with y'all. And so you guys went early to make sure we could get that spot.
Yep.
and
That's
kind
a good call.
of be a good home base,
Right.
so to say. And that's like that's base camp, and
Yeah.
I've stayed in that spot a number of times. And
Yeah.
it's been good to me. So.
Yeah, I mean, going back, I likely will at some point, but it's probably always a good idea because it is so accessible to get there a little early. I mean, at least like that Thursday or so. Of course, because you're going to have local hunters coming into the area, out of staters, as we know, Dave and Barney and. I can't remember the guy's name, but yeah, those guys are a hoot. But yeah, we have guys coming from all over, obviously. But you have to make sure to get to a certain area a little early because I mean, there's gonna be a lot of hunters. Especially, it's grown in popularity since COVID. I feel like,
Even before that, though, I mean, I've been out there on like a Wednesday. Back when I lived there, and I'd go scout this area a little bit before season. I'd show up and there'd be a tent set up the week before season. I'm like,
Really?
what's going on? But I'd come,
Wow.
the day before and check it, it'd be gone. So they either picked up, went to a different spot, found a different spot they wanted to hunt. So it changes, but
Yeah.
I've got backup spots to camp in that area. You can always run to town and get a spot.
Yeah,
Got
Right.
So
Well,
there's options, but you need to
Like
have
where
options.
we parked to go
Yes.
get y'all's,
Yes.
to get the mule deer.
That spot used to always have some folks from Texas there. Like every year I had hunted it, there was multiple rigs set up there. And so this was the first year I hadn't seen them, which is why
didn't y'all say that there actually was when we first got there, and then they all took off? No, they
No,
just
I don't
never
think
were.
so. I don't
No,
think
they never were.
wow.
No.
I feel like we saw campers like out at the highway where that big
Yes.
turnoff
Oh,
is.
yeah,
People
yeah,
were
yeah.
just camping right there at the
Yeah.
highway.
Right.
But yeah, you're right. It's accessible from town, so we did have some folks showing up every morning as well. So it's
Yeah.
yeah.
That was so new to me, is like, be able to just, you're on a county road or whatever, and you just literally set up camp right on the county road. I was like, wow, this is so wild. Because being here in Texas, I mean, it's all private land. You can't just set up shop wherever you want. You're on someone's private property,
Yep.
So that was so crazy to me.
Yeah, a lot of the western states, Colorado, they have dispersed camping. So if you can find a designated spot, campsite off the road, there's usually restrictions about how far from a stream or you have to be. But yeah, if it's if it's publicly accessible, you can go and camp. So
Yeah.
which is why I think a lot of people that are doing those big road trips and sprinter vans and different things, they come here, they're like, where can I park? Because you go out west and you can just pull off on the side of the road and sleep. You've got everything you need. Where it's tougher down here. And someone who's not from here, right, it's tough to find a spot to hunt because it is all private unless you have a lease or you've got access or family or whatever. It's different.
Yeah.
It's different.
Well, and getting tags. Getting tags in Texas, impossible. Except for your standard, draw tags.
Right. Yeah,
I mean, I still put in for them, but
Always.
yeah, my well, y'all, you don't know Kyle, but y'all know Kyle, my buddy Kyle, and he actually drew this year in Texas up in the Panhandle, and he got a heck of a buck. It was a heavy 8, real wide, but he's been put in for a little while, probably 5 years now or so, and he just drew, but he got a heck of a buck out of it.
WMA.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yep. Yeah. Up there.
if you're willing to try to bow hunt a Neil guy, going to down south,
Yes, please.
is pretty regular. I've got 2 different buddies that drew this past year.
Cool.
Really?
So if you put in for the bow hunt,
Let's go.
I'll check
what's
with you
that
on
zone
one.
called?
That'd be fun.
You
Tough as hell,
text me
though.
later.
Yeah, I'll text it to you. I don't want to. It's really not that hard to find if I found it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's interesting. I've heard that they're very tough, though. When it comes
Yeah,
to
they're hard to
hunting.
hunt.
Yeah.
I mean, they're an antelope. They're
I don't think either of them filled that tag, but
Really?
one buddy was right up on one. But as soon as they're super skittish too. So
Yeah.
as soon as you go to draw, they're busting.
Yeah.
they're tasty.
Yeah.
They're delicious. And
Heck yeah.
I shot one rifle. I didn't bow hunt one. With a
On y'all's place,
6.5 Creedmoor, by the way.
Yeah.
Hey.
I guess it's easy when you're shooting them at like
Shot placement.
100,
It is shot placement.
Yeah.
180, 200 yards.
I shoot a 6
And
Creedmoor now.
You put it in its ear, it goes down weird. I don't know why.
Yeah. Yeah.
But no, I ate that Neil guy all last year. That was my freezer filler.
Really?
It
Did you
was
just a bunch of ground
amazing.
meat with it, or
Yeah, I did a bunch. I mean, I
steaks and stuff?
took some
I'm sure,
steaks
'cause-
out of it. And
yeah.
like all the bigger cuts in the ham, made that into like fajita type, like cuts.
Is it gone?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got more running around out there.
Yeah.
I'll trade you some
I actually right now. Oh no, that's not Ed. Sorry. I got some whitetail and oddhead mixed together. If you want that.
Nope.
No.
good. Appreciate that though.
Oh, well, yeah, we talked about that a couple days ago. It's all about how you prepare it, right? Every animal, I've always heard that about black buck. Oh, it's terrible, but you cook it the right way, you prepare it the right way, you'll be all right.
Field care is part of
Field
it.
care, yeah. Oh, you're big in that for sure.
Matters.
Yeah. So Friday, okay, so we stayed in town, came out, went back out on Friday, started doing our little glass round, peeking around, and you said don't walk around too much. So we just want to get an idea of what the area looked like. So we got up there, and we didn't see any elk on Friday, but there was
we did see a wolf though.
it
We
was
we only
either
took
the biggest coyote
pistols
in
and
our
we're
life,
like,
and then
gosh dang it.
yeah,
It probably was a coyote. We
Wolf
went back.
/ coyote.
We're
But we're
pretty
gonna
sure
say-
it was a coyote.
Yeah.
Pretty sure.
it
There are
definitely.
wolves in that area, so it's possible, but
We definitely were all
unlikely.
three of us like, damn, it's a dang wolf.
It was
We
huge.
started looking at it a little
It
bit
could
more.
be.
Like,
But
But even when we went to the game office, she was like, I don't
Yeah,
know. That
that's
could
right.
have been a wolf.
Yeah.
She was, we didn't have
It's
a great
possible.
picture.
yeah,
Yeah.
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 But that was beautiful. I mean, absolute beautiful views. I mean, that's
was a
one of
good
the
day.
things about like that Western hunting, the mountains and all that is, you get up to the top of the mountain, you're glassing around, but you get the opportunity to sit down, reflect, and you may be with somebody like you and me on day 2 or just by yourself. The first day, well, at least the first half of the day, I was by myself most of the time, and just sitting there and kind of reflecting on your life. And this is what Dan with Elk Shape was talking about. Like, this is an awesome opportunity to go out there, self-reflect a little bit, and see where you can kind of better yourself at home, with your family, and and speak with God a little bit. If you want to pull out your Bible app, read some scripture while you're up there. I mean, because a lot of the day is kind of just sitting and waiting, or whatever. But that's one of the things I enjoyed about it. I know you've talked about that, Steven. But I don't know. How do you guys feel like when you get up there on the mountain? I feel like that self-reflection part of it is one of the best parts about the trip,
that's my place of peace, right? That's why I do it. I come back a better person. That's how I get energy. I convinced my wife that, and it's true though, like I can go out there so I can come back. That's my time away. Most of my hunts I do solo. And so it's different. It's nice to have friends, but when you go solo for a week, the headspace that you get in, you just thoughts that come up and people talk about it, but I've never done more than a week. I can't imagine what type of place you'd go to just because you get that isolation, but you get to reflect back on things from middle school that happened, and you just get all the things that you've either said to your wife or your kids or just down the past. You're like, oh gosh, okay, I gotta work on that. It's time you get to spend with God in just beautiful places, see His creation. I mean, it's just something that grounds me every time, brings me back to faith, brings me back to like, how do you not believe in God when you see all this beautiful creation and what came through here and what this used to be and what it is now and how we live off this land? It's fabulous. That's why I do it primarily.
Well, I thought it was really cool. And Dan on Elk Shape talked about when you get back is sharing that experience with your wife and what you've learned and what you want to improve on, things like that. Kind of give her a little debrief on the trip, but how you want to better, how you've want to better yourself with the family and all that, and is sharing that with your wife or your husband. Obviously there's some women out there that go hunting too. I saw this one channel. She was out there for almost 20 days by herself. You probably know who she is. She's a blonde, kind of younger, but she was bow hunting. I think it was in Colorado, but she was out there for almost 20 days, and she finally got a huge. I mean, he was like, I think 340, 350, big old bull, public land. But she was out there by herself.
It's a grind.
This entire
That's
time.
a grind.
It's impressive.
It's insane.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Because I won't do it by myself.
Jesus loves me. It's a little weird out there, dark.
I didn't like it at all.
Steve's batteries don't last long enough to do it.
I didn't like it at all.
Yeah, I mean, I would just echo everything you're saying. I mean, it really is. Even here in Texas, so the solitude in a box blind and just staring at a feeder, you get a lot of. The bird lands right in front of you, and you get to have a little chat with the. We have a saying in our family that the red cardinal is Hillary's grandmother, and so every time you see one, it's when you're out at the ranch and you see one, and you're like, oh yeah, hey, thanks for being here. And
my wife's grandfather, same thing in our house.
Yeah, same.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So you just get that, you get to have those moments. With nature.
Yeah, for sure. So we get to day one. Saturday is opening day, and so we all kind of disperse. And Brock is not there yet. Tom, he goes on the, I don't know, I guess that was kind of the east side.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you went east. Steven and I went up the big mountain, and then he kind of went off his own direction. And same with me, just kind of get more eyes out there, spread out our guns a little bit. And so I think it was around, the sun definitely started coming up. I think about an hour into it I started hearing, this is kind of, from my understanding, this is a little unusual time of year. There's some bugling going off in the distance, and I was like, oh man, this is sweet. First time really hearing a bugle out in the wild. And it seemed pretty far off. It was off to my right. And then next thing you know, about 10 minutes later, heard another one a little bit closer, and then another one a little closer. And then there's the aspens right across the mountain. And I heard one in there. I was like, cow, damn, there's a damn bull in those aspens. And I texted you guys, like, kind of letting y'all know what I was hearing. Yeah, opening day one.
Yeah, I'm in like Amarillo getting texts like, there's bulls out here.
Yeah. So I'm getting all amped up. My heart's already beating a little, pretty heavy, just because this is a whole new experience for me. And I don't get buck fever as much anymore in Texas. Bow hunting will still amp me up a little bit, but I haven't really had buck fever in a while. But I started feeling that coming on for sure out there. I mean, hearing all these bugles and knowing that, hey, this may happen. So the aspen's roughly, I don't know, about 400 to 500 yards from where I was sitting across the, across the way there. And, next thing you know, I think it was about 3 hours into it, I was just glassing the aspens, and I thought I saw a little silhouette of a bull or an elk. I kept looking harder and harder, and then I saw the head move and antlers. Like, holy cow, there's a damn bull! And off to my left, down below, there's the group of guys that were camped out right next to us, and we knew from Brock's experience that this was Dave's spot. So they were he was set up at his little monument or whatever he called it, and I can see those guys in my binos. So I see the bull.
Can I jump in on that?
Yeah,
before the commenters start saying like, it's public land, it's fair game. You're like, the dude's 70, it's his spot.
Yeah.
Like you show
he's
a little,
been there 30 plus years.
show a little, you'd still respect it a little bit. But if you got a shot on the bull, shoot the bull. But
sure,
you still give a little bit of love to the dude who's 70 hiking up the mountain.
Yeah,
for sure. I've known Dave now for 6-7 years, and so he's cordial. They're only going to hunt their spot. They go in,
he did make a
day.
Spaghetti.
Yeah.
Man,
they love to share camp.
Sorry, I wanted to jump in there.
They love to share camp, and so it's not like, hey, we're all stepping on top of each other in this spot. We'll get up and go and move and check different ridges and balance, but they're posted up, and so I'd say there's an ideal spot that you can glass from, which is pretty close to where they are, a few hundred yards away, but it's also a long shot from where they are. So
I'd say for both of us, I think he ended up telling, we'll get to here in a second, but it was in the 400s for both. But that's the thing about Western hunting too, is, and Dan talks a lot. I keep talking about Dan, but I really like his podcast. Is we need to be more respectful with each other, hunters in general. Like, everybody's always out there. It seems. I mean, I don't have experience with this yet because I'm so new to it. But a lot of hunters have the experience of other hunters just trying to eat them alive on certain situations, rather than, hey, let's work together, let's be nice to each other, cordial, all this stuff. We're all out there for the same thing, So I don't know if you've experienced that, other hunters like you to get into it, with you because this is my spot or whatever.
Never had like an altercation, but I've had a lot of run-ins to where we'll be posted up at a spot and have someone drive in and hike 100 yards in front of us, like they wave and they go right in front.
Still walk up
in
there.
the same. Yeah. We're hunting the same basin. They go within 100 yards here. Like, hey, what is going on? Like, we're clearly hunting this, sitting here, we're looking. But my MO in this is like, I'm not confrontational in the woods. Like, there's so much public land in most of these spots. Yeah. These are pretty easy to get tags. It's not like I've waited 20 years burning reference points that are, there's enough space. I'll go find a better spot. If it's that accessible for people, and there's going to be more, especially a lot of the locals.
Especially for a guy like you.
Well,
you can walk it out.
I can walk it out, but it's
you can probably look at anybody that walks in on a spot that you're on, and you're like, I could walk further. I didn't walk far enough.
I wish. I might be able to walk further in. I don't know if I can get further back out same day.
Coming out heavy.
Yeah. But it's it's one of those respect things. There's enough space, there's enough access. You can go. If someone beat me to it, hey, good on them. I'll go find somewhere else. Sure. That's cool. But in this situation, Dave's just a buddy. It's like we're all hunting together in a lot of ways. We know where they're going to be. They're not going to move to go. If there's an elk coming on down that drainage, when you first walk into the right, like, I've seen them there. They're over there. They're not even going to see. They're not even going to know that there's elk unless it comes over the top there. Like, they can't see them.
Yeah.
And so I've had that to where, come in, I'm like, oh, there's elk right there. Like, I've had a bull tag there, herd of cows, or vice versa. So it's all good.
Yeah.
In that regard.
For sure.
Yeah, it's all good until what happened to you.
Yeah.
Or the next day when you got random folks coming through at 30 yards.
Yeah,
get to that one too.
Yeah, we'll get to that here in a second. But so it's about 9 o'clock or so, and I had my rifle already set up. Just the problem is, so I saw the bull. I know he was a shooter. He was legal, and I knew those guys below me were also on him because I saw they had a rifle up. And I figured they were on the same bull. It's kind of hard to tell what angle they had the rifle, but I was like, we're probably looking at the same bull here. So who can get to it first? Really, it's public land, like we said. They have their spot. We let them have their spot. I'm where I'm at. See whoever has the angle, I guess. Really is what it comes down to, but. So I'm just waiting for this bull to stand up, and it's really, it's so interesting hunting this land because you can easily lose an animal. I first spot him
very easily.
Had him in the binos. I'm like, oh crap, man! I get my rifle set up, and it took me probably 15 minutes to find him again. Because it's so thick up there with the aspen, all these other shrubs and everything else, oak brush and all that. Yeah, I mean it's pretty interesting. So I finally find him again. But this happened probably 4 or 5 times where I kept losing them, find them again, losing them. Finally got some landmarks where I could okay, there's where I need to look and then go down from there, whatever, in the binos or the scope. So I'm probably 2 hours into this, letting you guys know what's happening. Like, hey, I'm just waiting for this darn bull to stand up. He was laying down, but the problem was there was that that oak. What'd you call it again? The
Oak brush.
Oak brush. Yeah, oak brush. Right in front of this bull's shoulders. I'm like, gosh dang it, I don't want to punch through that. I mean, I know I have a 7 PRC and it's a pretty big bullet, but ethical shot. I don't think I want to take it yet. So I'm just waiting. Well, so 2 hours into this, I'm at this point, I'm just waiting, in the scope, trying to let my eyes, rest a little bit here and there. But at this moment, he was in my scope, just waiting for the stand up, and then all of a sudden I hear whoosh, and then he stands up, the bull in the scope, and he's stumbling. I'm like, oh my gosh, they freaking just shot him. And then again, right, a couple seconds, boom, and hit him again, and then he goes tumbling pretty much right away. I'm like, you have got to be kidding me. I mean, this is my first ever Western hunt. I was trying not to get too amped up about it, too frustrated, but at the same time, like, this opportunity is right here in front of me, and this bull is a beautiful bull too. We ended up seeing the next night. It was a shot right in front of me. I was like, you've got to be kidding me. I was so ready, man. I was set up. It was 488 yards. I think when we ended up talking to Dave and Barney the next day, I think they were in like 405 or something like that is what he said. But yeah, that was day one. And then, so at that point I just stood up, I walked up the mountain. Steven had met me up there, and, we started trying to figure out a different game plan, because obviously that area was going to be blown. It's pretty small, as you know, Brock, it's a pretty small area. So that area was pretty much going to be blown up.
That little canyon.
Yeah. I mean, it's a bust, especially those guys.
Loud as they
as
are.
we were walking,
So loud. Probably
they
12
were
beers
screaming
deep.
at each other. These guys are older guys. Just
Always has his phone on loud.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter if he's killed or not. His phone, the volume is on.
Oh,
And so
my
if he gets a
gosh.
phone call, it's wild. It's wild.
That's hilarious.
But he kills a bull every year.
Yeah, for 30 years or yeah, exactly.
Those are migrating elk. So, right, that day it may be blown out, but that afternoon, I mean, especially because it's opening day. So you're getting bulls pushed. There's some private around. So stuff's getting pushed around constantly.
Yeah.
Whether coming from BLM chunks or national forest that's around or private, they're constantly moving through.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I mean, so it wasn't completely ruined, but knowing that Dave and Barney and the other guy were there packing out, I mean, they were just screaming at. We could, as Steve and I were making our way further down, we could just hear them screaming at each other, cussing each other out, all this stuff. So we're like, well, we need to try to just get as far away from these guys as we can. But
Hopefully they blow them out towards us.
yeah. So that was day one for us. I don't know. Do anybody else have anything to touch on day one? I mean, it was. Other than that, it was kind of an uneventful.
Did you get there on that one?
I got there late afternoon.
That's when you came up to tell me there was a bear right below me.
Right.
Yes,
Yeah.
So I got up in
You did
time
get
to glass because I drove that whole day, and I left early and got there late. And I got up, and you were hunting the other side, and so I could glass across that. And there was a big bear. It was a good color phase black bear, and you had a bear tag.
You had a bear tag and elk tag.
Yeah.
It was that.
Well,
That
and
was a
you
little
could
ways.
also
there's no
see
way you
elk
could see
go
it.
into that wallow, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
bunch of cows
So there
going across there.
were. But did you say there was a bull with them? I
No,
thought
there was no bulls. There was all cows.
Or maybe we were just hoping there was a bull sneaking in there.
There was a bull further off on that private chunk that I could see. There were a couple bulls. There were a lot of elk on
Oh,
that
that's
side.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. You were talking about some elk, and then I waited it out, hoping a bull would come to that wallow, and but then that bear was down below me in public.
He was on private. Yeah. He was
Or
just on the other
He was on
side.
private land, yeah.
Quite a ways, but I'm below you.
Yeah. Well, so that day, basically, you can't say bust. I mean, you're learning a lot. We were definitely learning
Yeah.
as
We're seeing elk,
went.
right?
Yeah, we're
I mean,
seeing
your public day one could have potentially had a
100%.
chance at a bull. Seeing elk, seeing bears. That's why we're there, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, there's competition.
There's a
More
lot
than
of
expected
competition.
and more than the past couple years.
Well, because you had Dave and his guys down there, but there was other people we saw walking
Yep.
around on ridge lines too. We're like, oh, Lee Moses. And then I remember when we
Tom
first
had
got
a few
out
friends
there.
on his side.
You had
I
some
had
buddies.
guys. So I had guys behind me
Yeah.
because I was further in than they were.
Yeah.
Up at that rock.
Yeah, they were at the
yeah.
rock that day. That was the rock I got to.
Yeah.
Got there early.
Yeah.
Get there early,
2
that's for
a.m.
sure.
it says. I didn't get up at 2.
Well, so
Sunrise is
then,
7. It's a mile walk. Yeah.
I think it was so the second day. Well, camp was interesting too. I guess we got to talk about that a little bit because Would y'all say so much? I sound like I was a bunch of raccoons wrestling around in the sleeping bag the whole night. Because I had where we were camped out. Where we were camped out is a little slight slope, to the grade. We're on a mountain, can't find a perfectly flat piece of dirt, but.
And we had a wall tent this year.
We had a wall tent this year, nice beautiful wall tent.
So the plan was to go hard though. The plan was to suffer.
Each of us have our own little tent. Yeah,
we did have our own.
That was my plan.
Yeah,
that's all I know.
Yeah, that's all.
I don't have a wall tent.
I'm glad we had the tent.
Thank you for bringing the wall tent.
Last minute, same buddy, the bird nut, was like, just take the tent just in case. You got room. Just take it. And I was like, all right, whatever.
Yeah.
I think it was a great choice.
For our first time, roughing
it would have been a little rough.
Thank you.
Yeah. What was it, like 14? The cold morning was like 14, but that was in town, so it had to be colder than that.
It was cold, along that creek. Gets cold in that bottom.
Been chilly.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the things you have to anticipate is not getting much sleep. You may have a late night because you're way out in the middle of nowhere, having to hike back and all that good stuff. I mean, that's kind of just part of it. But also, you may have a situation like us where, the grade of the campsite was kind of a little bit of slope. And then I have this air pad on top of my cot. And I'm literally sliding off of this darn air pad the entire night, trying to move around, trying not to wake you guys up. And then y'all kept waking up, and I'm rustling around.
You were trying not to wake us up.
I tried not to. I was doing my best.
When?
Oh gosh!
Well, I appreciate you were trying.
I was. I promise.
I think we were getting plenty good sleep if it wasn't for Ryan.
Yeah. So it's just me that can't sleep. Well, no, you say you have trouble sleeping too, but man, I just kept
it's
sliding
not the
off
most comfortable sleeping.
Yeah, I mean, you're not in a hotel room or something. You're camping. Yeah,
you're not at home.
Yeah, you're not at home. So, but yeah, you're. So we have these watches. I think you have a Garmin. You have a Garmin. So your Garmin will tell you your battery, your body's battery level. And day one, it's already saying you need to just relax today. You're on 30, and by the end of it, it's okay, you're in negatives now. You're about to literally die. Go rest, please. You know. But lack of sleep, and then you're hiking. You're putting in those miles and stuff. But so day 2, you and me went to the same spot I went to the day, day 1, and then you two went together, right? Y'all separated and did y'all's thing. So. We went to the same exact spot, and we actually saw some movement. I mean, there's some cows in there. There were some spikes, but we never saw any shooters.
We also found out from Dave that there was that other group that you guys had seen in the morning. They went up and over that far ridge, and they had killed a bull back on that side. And so they had packed most of it out or some of it out. And so we knew another bull had been killed on that backside of that first ridge. And so when Steven and I kind of glassed over that bull on the left, saw a bunch of elk, some spikes, no legal bulls. We decided to walk back around, just see what was on the other side, and saw some elk there. But then we ended up seeing in the afternoon those people packing in to go carry out that last load.
Yeah.
And then we made a push that night.
We did make a push that night.
Just to see.
Yeah, y'all were back in there because it's just kind of all this BLM land is kind of funky shape. So I mean, y'all were at the very, very tip of it, right? Basically,
we went way back.
Well, let me just tell you, if you're hunting with Brock, you better be ready because you're gonna be huffing it.
Well, if we're not seeing elk, right? And we're seeing elk, but they're not killable where we're at. It's hey, let's go push to where we know we can get, and let's go see. Right? They're not here, and everything we can see, there's no elk, no bulls pushing into this spot. That's going to be before legal shooting lights. So let's go push it. All right, we're here to kill, especially on public land. That's my MO. If I'm there, I'm away from my family. My goal is to execute on that. And so we're pushing. Important. Right. I mean, that's
I've done a little bit more Western hunting than you two, and Brock's anybody that's getting into it, just know you're gonna have it's just this next ridge guy.
Yeah,
there is that dude, and Brock's it's just over this next ridge, guys. Yeah. We'll be there.
Yeah, but that's
just one more little coulee in Montana. Yeah, and you're 12 miles in.
Right,
but it works.
But that's it. But
I have very few.
If you're not willing to put in the time, you're not gonna fill the tag.
Yeah, well, that's agree.
And even if you do put in the time,
unless you're Dave and Barney and post up in that one spot and just happen to get lucky every year.
Yeah,
but
Well, like I said, it's migrant. They're migrating through there, so it makes sense. But I feel like if you really want to walk away with an elk every year, you have to turn into that next ridge guy, and that's what Dan talks about again. There's no hunting back to the truck. So when that first day, we're asking you like, "Hey, Shoy, dude, it's getting kind of dark," and you're like, "Yeah, just stay out there, keep glassing." I'm like, "Really? Like that's what?" But like you said, if there's like 5 minutes left,
what's the point?
Go a little bit further, see, because you never know. So that's something I'll have to continue to learn and keep in mind while you're out there. I think that's that whole mental. You sent that podcast recently about just mental toughness. It gets tough out there for sure, and it's cold. It may be a little drizzly. It's cold, and you're already 2 miles out. You didn't sleep great.
You're eating
hungry.
freeze-dried meals. You're
not bad.
I love a good
pretty tasty.
Slightly limited. You got to know your water.
Yeah.
Or you're carrying
Especially there.
less.
Yeah.
Or be prepared to make water, right? And so it's easy to become demoralized.
Yeah.
You
start
seeing
missing
an
your
animal
family
get
and all
shot
that.
right in front of you.
Yeah.
The
Right.
family's, I got to get back. Especially after somebody kills something.
Mm-hmm.
That's when you know your boys. Like once they've killed, what do they act like?
Yeah.
Once they've killed, right? Even Dave mentioned it about he's been friends with that guy for 50 years and Barney left him, right?
Oh,
And so,
I forgot about that.
Your boys really show themselves after the kill.
Yeah,
Once they've killed and their tag's full, that's
Are
when
they sitting at camp, or are they coming out to help you? They want to put it in, right?
Yeah, are they spotting
Struggling
for
together.
you? Are they, are they packing out for you? They brought extra knives. They brought, that's when you
enough
know.
knives.
That's when you know your
Limited on
boys,
knives.
because it's rough when you're in a camp where somebody's complaining about their back all of a sudden, and I've been on this.
Yeah.
Try not to. Try not to complain. Try to keep the mood light and all that. And then I guess if you see somebody down, if you are hunting with guys, it's hard when you're by yourself, which you have a lot of experience with, but you feel the mood down, I guess, because hopefully we're going to be hunting again with each other. What we can do to try to pick each other up, whatever we can do to pick each other up and lighten the mood a little bit. But so on gear wise, I mean, Brock got out there this Saturday. Yeah, I don't really know what I'm doing. We kind of went over gear and stuff before we left at Brock's house, but so we kind of talk about, hey, because the packs felt kind of heavy, like
For
it
sure.
kind of felt.
I don't mind a heavy pack.
Yeah. Tom's the exact opposite, but
To be fair, I get made fun of by every group that I have way too much stuff, so it's fine.
I
brought it all.
That tent.
I just brought
None
it
of y'all were there. I'm like, what is this? Like, yeah, it's great to have a wall tent, but I'm like, this has a freaking shields. Like, it has everything in here. I walked in, there's like 4 extra duffels. I'm like, they're half open. There's just food and gear. And I'm like, what is going on? I have a tent and I'm leaving like my pillow, my sleeping pad. That's
Ryan wasn't complaining about the bone broth that I threw to him.
No, he was
very
not.
thankful for that.
Yeah. You had a full
so good up
AGV in there.
Speaking of things that'll pick up your soul, is some hot
Heck
bone
yeah.
broth and coffee and.
That was so good. I actually ordered some of that when I got back.
Yeah.
I was like, I got to try to reminisce on that a little bit, pretend like I'm on the mountain. But,
Loa.
So gear, Brock is looking at our gear, and so I was the first one to be made fun of with this whole situation. You have these replaceable blades, little knife set, and I had literally probably 20 of those blades in my.
It's a handful.
At least
it was a legit
it was my
handful.
So it's a kill
probably
kit.
more
You have
than you need,
your kill kit. It's kind of learning all this as we go. So your kill kit has your blades. It has maybe some gloves, maybe
Game bags.
some game bags, all that stuff. And then I literally had 20 replaceable blades. So what'd you say? Ounces is pounds, pounds is pain, or whatever. That's definitely true. We found that out pretty quickly. So they give me a hard time about that. And the next thing was the fire starter kit. I had like this whole fire starter kit, had all these these packs of this whatever the fire starter stuff,
Pyro putty type stuff.
Yeah. And you're like, you can cut that in half or have a quarter of that. And
But
it
you
had
had the sticks. You had the
had, like, multiple
licorice looking
sticks.
stings. Yeah.
What brand is that? The bearded one?
Yeah, bearded.
Whatever the guy with the beard on it.
Yeah.
We're also day tripping, right? So like everywhere we're at, we
exactly.
can get back at night.
Yeah, this is
So
zero
it would be
reason to
very
have.
hard to not to get stuck back there. So
Right. Yeah.
So
yeah. You're not, 6 miles deep or something.
right.
For sure. So anyways, kind of learning all that. So Brock kind of helped out with lightening the load a little bit. So day 2 is a little better, I guess. Yeah. But yeah, so we saw some elk, some movement. I don't know, what kind of action did y'all have?
We saw plenty. Yeah.
Some were on private. Some
saw a lot of cows, right?
Yeah, we saw a lot of cows, few spikes.
Yeah.
Just no legal bulls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's when we made that late push.
Yeah, we made it very.
Y'all moved a lot. We
moved a lot.
stayed in that spot all day. Maybe we should have, changed it up, but we were just kind of
waiting for the migration though.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You never know.
I mean, yeah.
Never know.
And
You make a move and the elk are right behind you. Somebody shoots one right where you moved from.
Yeah.
Oh, we got a nice midday nap in. It was a beautiful day. That day, the sun was out. It was great. It was a nice, probably mid 50s, upper 50s day in the sun, low wind. So yeah, it was great.
Well, there's times where you and me were baking alive.
Yeah, it was pretty warm.
Gosh,
yeah.
on the side of the mountain, we're just staying in the same spot all day. We're like, oh my gosh, this is getting warm.
Yeah, I mean, you're a mile closer to the sun. It's warm up there.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because as soon as the clouds would come over, like, oh my gosh, it's getting cold again. And then 5 minutes later, sun's back out. You're stripping down again. Like
that was probably the most frustrating part of hunting is you sweat your tail off and it's 14, 15 degrees out, whatever. But you're climbing up the mountain and start sweating, and then you get up to the mountain on top and it's windy and it's freezing. So it's
and now you're sweaty.
Yeah.
Yeah. Always start cold.
That's exactly.
We talked about it every day.
Absolutely.
These two didn't necessarily want to start as cold as
on. We've
learned.
I'm a little hotter. Obviously our body types. Just to be fair, I start sweating just standing around. So I'm leaving in just my undershirt.
Hey, same. Yeah.
And I'm already sweating. So you step out the tent, you want to be real cold.
Because we had that little, I guess you say, cold front come in on Monday, and it dropped down to 13. I think is the coldest it got, around 13, something like that. So that was day 1, 2, 3. So day 3, you and me went up again on the other side. Got beat to it. We saw the lamps up there, headlamps. Like, dang it. Okay, so obviously we need to wake up earlier next time. But that was kind of tough. Midday, we had that rain that was potentially going to come in. So you and me went back down to camp. You two had brought Jimmy John's.
Was that the day it kind of snowed?
Where
we got kind of some flurries.
That's the day.
Yeah.
We
the
bombed
Jimmy
the new
John's.
spot.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we definitely got to talk about
And
that.
The Jimmy John's.
When we went to the new spot.
Yeah, we went to the other spot that I'd never personally hunted. I'd seen a lot of people hunting it, and there was no one there. And that's where we were like, hey, this is getting hunted hard. It's been a lot of pressure. You guys were going to stick around. So we were like, hey, let's go check this.
Yeah.
I know some guys that have hunted that spot in the past and had some luck. But the access route.
Was that in the morning when you went over there?
Yeah, so we went over in the dark.
Yeah.
We started hiking up this mountain, and that was rough. There's no marked trails. There's no nothing.
Brutal.
And it was
brutal.
It was like a loose, not a sand, but it was a loose dirt. And we're beating
Constantly
pinyon
falling.
junipers. It's just all PJ, and it was a grind. It was like walking up a sand hill, and you'd take 3 steps up, 1 step back. It wasn't like 2 steps. It wasn't that loose, but it was steep and rough. Yeah. And we got, I don't know, maybe it was a lot. I figured we'd be at the top, and we were maybe halfway by the time daylight broke, or at least you could see. And
so when did you spot the?
So that's when I looked across, and I looked back because I think I was a little ahead of you, sitting there trying to catch my breath.
Yeah.
Just leading the pack, right?
Yeah.
Cutting trail. And I looked back, and I could see the school bus, right? The elk across that on the other basin. And there were, I don't know, 8-ish.
Yeah.
I think there were 7 cows and a bull, and nice bull. Real nice bull, to come to find out. But we're watched them for a little bit, and then there was that. First, I think there was that muley in the bottom.
Oh yeah,
there was that muley in the bottom, little buck, decent buck, and we're like, we could get down there. It's on public, but not that far from where we parked. Maybe 200 yards. We're like, we could hustle back. We can get down this a lot quicker than we got up it. And so we're looking, and then we happened to look up, and that's when we saw the elk up higher. And we're like, oh well, you could tell they were starting to feed up out of this bottom, and there was a big north-facing slope on the other side. They were going to go up and over that for the day.
Yeah.
So like, all right, let's do this. We looked back up as to where we had to go, what the initial plan was, and like, this isn't going to work. Let's go this way. So we bombed off and we scooted. We ran, skied. Yeah.
You told him something though.
Oh yeah.
This is on the once we finally crossed the other side. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're scooting down. I mean, like a good jog down a mountain and getting across. And of course, Brock's ahead of me. I call him the mountain goat because this dude can move through the wilderness. And we get over there, and dude, it's cold too, but I am sweating bullets. I mean, I am like redlining for sure.
Going down wasn't bad. It was getting back up that other side where we had to climb up to because we had to climb quick.
Part.
Yeah, we had to climb real quick. Yeah. And we get up there. I'm huffing and puffing, and I'm dying, y'all, dying. And so I'm taking a break for a second to try to catch a little bit of wind. And Brock looks back at me. I don't know the exact words, but he's like, if there's any time to move, it's right now. And I was like, F you. Like I am trying to move, you know, but I did need that push. Like I needed that push to keep going because I was exhausted and my heart was throbbing through my chest. Yeah. For one, because there was a bull out there, so that was exciting. But for pure exhaustion too.
Yeah. Well, it was steep. That little piece we had to climb up was steep, and after running down, it was we were full on. I was pushing it, but I'm also carrying probably 15 less pounds of stuff between rifle and just having a little bit more trimmed pack than y'all did, and so a little easier for me to maneuver through some of that. And then, but we got up there and we knew. I mean, I knew they were feeding up and going to go up and over into that timber, and we didn't have a whole lot of time based on where they were with feeding up, and so figured we'd get up into a clearing and a shooting spot. And I've never been on that side, so just topography wise, trying to pick the right trail, going like we had maybe 10 minutes, and we probably had about 10 minutes to get to where we needed to go at that point.
Yeah.
So you did it. I mean, I know you could. I know you've done high rocks, CrossFit. You like to be pushed. You like to do hard things. But then it's like I also knew we had to get there in time for you to catch your breath. And I'd rather have you redline till you get there and give you that extra minute to calm down versus, do a steady 90% all the way there, and then you can't catch your breath because he's going up and over.
Right.
And so you did it.
Yeah, we did it. Yeah.
So when you got there, what happened? They weren't there.
Well, I got down on the pack, and so I put the pack down, laid down, got the rifle out, and trying to find them. But
There were cows.
By the time we looked up, all we saw was cows.
There were cows. All of his cows were there.
I thought
and
they were
the
all
bull was
gone.
gone.
So the cows,
No, the
cows were all there
Dang.
feeding right up where I expected them to go.
Yeah.
And they were up there feeding. And we're sitting there, Steven's set up waiting. We're like, okay, where is he? Where is he? I mean, and it maybe took us 30 minutes to get over. And he was pushing those cows around. I mean, you could see him bugling from across. And I was watching him, I had the spotter out. I've got video of him. You can see him running across, pushing those cows. And he worked up somewhere. He just, there was something else going to the right from our view and went up because the next day we went back, right? There were a bunch of elk over there. So he could have pushed off that way, seen another cow. I mean, there was a lot of sign when we got up into there.
Yeah.
But he wasn't there.
Yeah.
You sat there. You were ready. You were what, 250, 300 yards?
Oh, yeah.
We were great spot and good distance. And cows fed right up and over. He wasn't there. But so we worked up a little bit further. He looked up and there was that other bull.
Yep.
I think you were still catching your breath a little bit at that point. And he was a ways. He was probably another 800-900 yards. What was he? And it was steep. And there was no way. He was working across this open spot, and there was just no way for us to close that distance. Yeah. He was just feeding, walking across, going over that same ridge into that dark timber. It's one thing if it was September and you knew they were going to go bed there and they were vocal and you can go call them. Yeah, it'd be a great archery spot. Good move to go into there. But that rifle season's a little tricky.
Yeah. Yeah. So y'all ended up leaving that spot pretty quickly after that because y'all didn't.
We went up and over.
Did you?
Just kind of
It
was.
We explored that area.
That's where we found the spot to set up that next day.
Oh, that's how y'all found it. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, so we did a lot of exploring
Oh,
before
okay.
we left.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we didn't go any higher than that, really. We just went up and then came back down.
Yeah, because we knew we wanted to try to hunt that again.
Yeah.
Just because nobody was there and just trying to find a good spot.
Was that over on the spot where you shot
Yep.
yours?
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Nice.
And that's where, but we also knew that front was coming in. We needed to go get some propane, and so we knew we had to run into town. So we figured, okay, since we were closer and we had driven, we'd go drive into town. So
you
bail out, go out back in the afternoon.
Then was when we got
Shout out again.
Yeah,
That was great.
Again, back to the
fellow
morale.
hunter. Yeah.
Back to the morale.
It was a booster for sure.
It'll bring you back to life.
Yeah,
You're cold, you're tired.
Some propane for the
some
wall
propane
tent,
and some good food.
some
will
heat, and
bring you to life.
toasted sub.
So we had those buddy heaters, and was it the first night we had them, or second night we had them going? But whatever reason, I guess the altitude change or whatever from Texas to Colorado, they weren't working. Yeah, so
they had to drain that whole tank. We went into town, and the guy's like, "Where'd you come from?" He's like, "This is weird." He goes, "There's stuff in here, but there's no pressure."
Yeah.
So they said they see that pretty frequently. It's either it's old, it sat in the sun, or it comes from a low pressure to high pressure environment, and it's just not good.
Yeah.
And so, because it was warm, he's like, you can't put your hand in front of this. I didn't know that about LP, but turned it on. He's like, he had to drain that whole tank. There's a few pounds in it. So filled it back up though. We were good to go.
It was my tank. It was old and
double whammy.
Yeah.
It's good. We got some fresh. It was good.
Yeah. So third day, the three of us, Steven, Brock, and myself,
We went and scouted it that night.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We did go back. We ate our Jimmy John's, went back.
Yeah, we just kind of
didn't see
it was
anything.
wet, and nasty. It was blowing.
Yeah, the wind was insane.
So we hunted from the truck. We could see some of that from the road.
Right.
Where was Tom?
He went.
He went to back.
I went to the east side again.
Yeah, that's
I was
right.
dedicated to the east.
Point.
Hey, if we would have just but remember it was the cold front was coming in, so we had a conversation about maybe they're going to come off that ridge, come off the
That's
the
a big
national park.
north-facing side over there.
So hopefully they're
Big pockets.
And my last sit a couple days later, my last sit in the evening, there was like calves like trying to come over the ridge right where I would have pushed them, or right where they would have came, and I was hoping that the weather was going to push them down to where I was at. It just never happened.
Right. Yeah. So and then us three, we went to the same
Just wasn't
spot the
cold
next
enough.
day. Right. Yeah. It was just, from my understanding, across the United States, all these Western states, it wasn't a very cold year.
Mild
so
fall.
Very mild. Yeah. And that can affect.
Terrible winter.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that day was a big push day too. That third day when you, and Brock
Yeah.
went.
Us three.
Yeah,
us three. We went up to the top with the glassing point that y'all found. Didn't see anything initially, and then we kept going all the way up to that tower. That was quite. We put in some miles there.
A lot of elevation.
Yeah, because the tower
There's
up
no
there
break.
was like
There's
9.
no flat spots. There's no ridges. You're just up.
Mm-hmm.
When y'all did that, I went up to like Dave's spot, and then I
Okay.
went down and around into the basin, came back and around, and did that other side. Watched those cows on private. Yeah,
Yeah. So
it was a long day. I think we all had a long day that day.
Well, because we saw, I
of
guess the
deer.
early part of the day we didn't see anything, but we went back
We
down.
saw that muley buck, that little one that he almost.
Oh, yeah,
he was
he almost schwacked.
debating on that little forky.
yeah.
That was like 550 too. It was that
That
little
would've been a
forky.
poke.
You're
Yeah.
like, it's day 3. I haven't shot anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
You
glad
decided
I
not
didn't.
to.
Itchy
Yeah.
trigger finger was
For real.
kicking in.
Yeah.
Turned
Wanted
out
to
well
kill
for
something.
you.
It did.
Yeah.
It did. But yeah, it was a big push day. I definitely learned where my mental capability was, because I was toasted and pissed
Yeah.
about moving that much.
Yeah.
So it's like, I need to get, next time I do this, I'm going to get in a little bit better shape.
Yeah.
You know?
You just have to go find them. You have to keep moving and moving, I guess, unless you want to be like Dave or like us the second day and just sit the entire day. But, I feel like that's probably, I don't know, probably not the best approach. I think what you do, you like to be active, get out there, move, and you're just trying to find them,
It's public land, right?
Yeah.
Unless you know that they're there and they're going to be coming through to feed, you've got to, it's one thing if you're on private and you know that they're not being pressured, they're up bedded in this north-facing timber, or they've got their water, but they're going to come down to alfalfa field, hay field. I mean, you guys drove around some of those other spots and how many deer and stuff coming out. One thing with deer and elk, but for public, it's not like you've got an alfalfa field that you're sitting over. You're native grasses, and so you've got to be mobile, because you don't know, they're not doing the same thing every day. Yeah, they're somewhat patternable, but they're also migrating. So you can, and I've seen different herds come through every single day in those spots overnight. From you put some elk to bed, it's a full moon, clear, they're going to move all night, right? They're pushing the lower country, especially if there's snow. This year,
well, that's what when I hear these guys talk about calling at night to locate bugles. Maybe are they not they're not moving as much.
Well, no, that's during the rut, so they're just herding cows.
Okay, so
they might move if they get bumped, but ideally, no, they're just they're feeding.
So that tactic works for that. So actually, that was day 4 when us 3 went up there, and then you did your thing.
It's certainly a balance. I mean, you got to play the game. Maybe I really think they're going to come over this ridge. I mean, I'll go back to my last day. I was in the right spot. Those calves wanted to, but those dudes that had pushed past me, I think they kept seeing them. Because I was below them. There's no way they saw me. Like, there's no way the calves, they were like kind of behind me. I was looking up and back, and they wanted to come right through that saddle, and they were going to come, and then, a couple cows and a couple calves were just, like, kept bumping over and then kicking right back to the other side. So,
yeah.
Was that morning? Well, you and I saw those other elk popping out. Was that? Oh no, that was the third night. That's the night.
Yeah. Because we went up to the tower, came back down, came back to the glassing spot.
Saw a bunch of mule deer.
Yep, saw a bunch.
No good bucks. No elk.
So
I went back to that. When you guys went and did that, my other rationale was, I was hoping there'd be a bear in the area after Barney had killed.
Oh yeah,
and so I knew where Barney's kill site was, and so I was kind of
trying to feed it on that carcass.
See if there was maybe a bear poking around in there.
There's a lot of bears in that area.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of bears.
Oh yeah, we'll get to that here in a second too. So we get to that glassing point. That at the end of the day, you take a little nap, and next thing you know, we start seeing some elk come over that ridge.
Right,
pop up a little bit.
Steven and I had watched him go over the ridge that previous morning.
And that's when you're like, okay, go ahead and get set up. So we did, but it was getting dark quick, and by the time, we didn't have any.
They were skittish.
Shooters. They were, yeah.
They were eyeing that whole basin, checking. We were on that other ridge. They were just.
Cautious.
World War III vets.
They're head on a swivel.
When you're on public land, they know.
Yeah,
especially after the first few days of shooting.
There was a lot of shooting going on those first 3 days, first 2 days especially.
It doesn't take them long to realize what's going on.
Yeah. So you had to leave. You went and left for your sheep hunt after you slept there that night, right?
Yep.
And then you took off.
Yep.
You took off. Or
to
did
go
you
scout
leave that night?
No, I left that morning.
You left the morning.
That morning.
We all
you
got
guys,
up.
because I had your trekking poles, so I met you at the truck on my way out, and you had your trekking poles in my my truck.
Glad he brought those. I had on my trekking poles. I had this adapter where you could turn them into shooting sticks, and that's going to come in. Yeah, little quick sticks, and that came in handy. But yeah, so you left. You went to go do your sheep hunt, and then you ended up you went back to the other side, right, the east side. And then Steve and I stayed together. We went back.
There was a cow carcass on the east side too.
Yeah, that's right. So Steve and I went back to the other spot we had to drive to, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes or something like that from where camp was, roughly. So we start working our way up to the glassing spot. And, by the time we got up there, it was, it's just started getting light, maybe a couple minutes, 5 minutes or so. And so I'm taking off my pack and everything, and you had already dumped your pack, and you started walking up to those 2 pines. And, so I see you look back at me, and you're like waving me up, and I'm like, oh crap, okay, what's happening? So I get up there, and then you're like, there's a bull right there, bull. So I'm like, oh crap, let's go to the game time, So I set up on one of these pine trees. Couldn't really get a good angle, because there's all kinds of brush and everything else. So I ended up moving to the other pine tree. I had my quick stick set up. The bull, luckily, is still there. They're not moving too fast. And then, so we range them. You range them. I was like, hey, give me range. And I had that vortex. I don't know. I still have to figure out what the heck's going on with that thing. But the vortex rangefinder, which has your ballistics programmed into it, you just have to do all that on the back end with the app. So, but that thing wasn't working the entire time. So, thanks to Tom, he suggested you write your ballistics, your dope on the stock of your rifle. So that's what I did. I wrote it all down, taped it, or I had this little pad thing that kind of keeps it secured. So I knew, okay, he ranged at like 477. So I looked at the buttstock. Okay, that's 12.5 or whatever. Boom, dialed the scope. And it was game time, man.
Smash City.
This is game time. Smacked him at 475 shot. Brock was like, shoot him until they're down. So I shot him 3 times. And yeah, man, that was a hell of an experience. But soon, literally, so we saw him go down. And we just didn't realize, but we looked back up a little bit further up the mountain, and there's some more elk there. Oh, crap. There's more elk, and there's a bull there, too. Like, it was a shooter. So we're like, oh, shoot. So you got you set up on my shooting sticks. Boom, ready to go. He was broadside, whatever. He's good angle. You let him.
Yeah. So had him in the scope, nice shot, and then went to pull the trigger and just click. And so I re-racked, got back in the scope, and it just clicked. And so I dry fired twice on it. Tried to get Ryan's gun.
Yeah, got hit. Yeah,
tried to get set up, but I think he was over the ridge by
already,
then. Yeah, he went over the ridge by then. So it was because they already been packing out 2 bulls.
Yeah, that would have been
Breaks
insane.
the soul.
Broke the soul for sure. Yeah, it was defeating. Luckily Ryan got his, so that was exciting. Like getting to watch Ryan shoot his first elk was an incredible experience for me. Like that was really cool. The excitement that he had, and it was a great experience either way. Yeah, I didn't get mine, but it's all right.
No, it's all good because it's the trip isn't over yet. We'll put a quick picture just for you guys to see the elk. Took us a while to find it. It's the same bull
that we saw the day before that Steven and I were trying to get on.
Pretty sure it was.
And the other one was the other.
Bull.
Those were those 2 bulls in that same basin. So they came back not the next day, but it was 2 days later.
Yep.
So
yeah, exactly. So
wanted to touch on your, obviously that's not hate on the Vortex Fury. It's the heat of the moment. Whatever the problem was, whether it was the technology, the equipment, user error, whatever it was, have your backup plan.
Absolutely.
Don't rely on, maybe you have your ballistics saved to your phone. I've done that. Like saved as your screensaver.
Yeah.
Hey, guess what? Your phone dies.
Right. Yeah.
Like, have it written on your buttstock. Or
I've got taped on all of them.
Yeah. Have it written on. Like, just have it on your buttstock.
handy.
Yeah.
Battery dies in your rangefinder.
Yeah.
You never know.
Always have a spare.
Whatever. If you drop it somewhere.
Yeah.
God forbid.
So the always have it, and obviously we're not hating on Vortex. They make great stuff.
Great products.
They're just
for sure.
in the moment. The equipment always fails. Murphy's around all the time.
Yeah. But it took us a while to find him. So, you had suggested after this happened to take a picture of, where you think he was. But also on that Vortex, if everything's working correctly on the ballistics app, you can actually range.
Yeah.
I did this at your place. You can range where it's at. So if you're on that app, you could see, basically I wish it actually linked to Onyx. That'd be kind of cool where you can just
I think they have that now.
Do they?
SIG just came out with the Onyx connected.
Oh, yeah?
Someone has it.
Oh, shoot.
To where you can.
Yeah, I've got the old
Hey,
SIG
you got a new
binos that
rifle?
range fine.
New rifle. Now you know what you need.
Well, it's the SIG binos. My buddy just got them, and they link to his Onyx. It's
Those the
money.
kilos.
Are they self-stabilizer
I think
too?
it's the kilos.
Yeah.
He's
Are they
pumped about it.
self-stabilizer too?
I don't
Or they
know. I've merely seen the picture he sent of them. I haven't really.
I also
dug
saw.
in.
Did you see the new SIG rifle scope that has the rangefinder built in, and so when you range it, it tells you exactly where to put. It moves the dot for you, the crosshairs.
Whoa.
So windage, elevation, everything. It's now all in one. It's a separate piece on top of the scope.
Are we going to get
okay.
into the argument of cheating?
I mean,
we no.
I just saw it. It looked pretty cool. I'm
The
not going to
river,
get one. It's too
the
heavy.
River Hill
It's too heavy for me.
mottos, if you ain't cheating, you're cheating yourself. So
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
it's always my joke about if you didn't fashion the shoes yourself, you're cheating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're not
Hey,
shooting
man.
a longbow, then
a longbow you made
you're a
yourself.
sissy.
You drove a car to this hunting spot. How dare you?
6'5" Creedmoor.
Oh,
Yeah.
how dare you?
Yeah. I mean, there's so much BS about that stuff, but we finally it took us like 45 minutes. So first, this is what I'm trying to
So
explain.
did you take a picture?
No, not that time. But the next day, we'll get
For
to
the
that.
But I
Yeah.
did try to
Yeah.
did I try to save a spot on Onyx?
I don't
remember,
know
'cause it looked like
it's
it
hard
was-
to like.
Well, it looked like it would be easy to find, right? Because it's across the ridge.
Oh, yeah, it looked like it's wide open area.
Right. Then you get over there and it's thick as
brush,
hell.
Goodness
high
gracious.
at least.
It was
The easiest lies ever, or the most lies ever heard.
Oh.
Yeah, the stripper loves you. The downed elk will be easy to find.
Oh, gosh.
Sure.
Hilarious.
It was
Took us forever to find it. Finally, you found it. I was way too far down the mountain.
And
you
left.
Way left. And then you finally hollered at me and found it. And this is the funny part that's coming up. So we found him. He's rolled up on this tree. So this is a huge animal. So we're trying to drag him down a little bit to a spot where we could start cutting at him. But neither myself or Steven had any earthly idea of what we were doing.
No.
So luckily,
So wait, y'all didn't watch
We did.
the gutless videos ahead of time?
no, I did. I still did. But I
I
feel
watched
like
it during.
we watched it on the way up too a little bit. That guy was super boring, by the way. There's other better.
Brock
we found
loves
a
the
better
boring
one.
ones.
Yeah, he does.
We need some
Boring
sci-fi
podcast.
education.
Educational purposes.
Oh gosh.
I think everybody knows
professor.
I don't like education.
Yeah.
Like on the
Yeah,
job
right.
training.
On my
Yeah.
job training.
There you go. So luckily we had some self-service. So whipped out my phone and went to YouTube and looked up how do you gutless a quarter up, whatever, pack out an elk. So we're having to pause. Okay, we watch a couple minutes, pause it. All right, we'll start working at this.
Super frustrating.
Yeah, I don't think
I actually don't think I've heard this either.
that's what I was
I've
talking
not
about
heard
earlier.
this version.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good.
Super
So-
frustrating.
Well, I asked
Yes,
if y'all
yeah.
needed me to come back.
Yes.
No,
I think
we
I was
got
saying
this.
that
We
too.
got this.
I was like, I can head that direction.
Yeah,
They're like,
yeah.
no, we got it.
Well, we figured it out. We sent y'all a
Yeah.
picture of the carcass after. We
All the
got
meat
most of
came
the
out.
meat off.
I
Most
mean,
of the meat, yeah.
You guys did a good job.
No, you did.
It was awesome though.
Thank
I mean,
God for YouTube on a mountain.
thank God for you too. Because if we were way out, in the SOS area, yeah, we would have been. It would have been a complete hack job.
What's crazy in that area is like where you did and didn't have service. Like you'd get up on top of the hill and you can see the highway. Like
Yeah.
it's civilization's not that far away. And
Yeah.
then you take 4 steps down into the ridge or into the valley and you have nothing. It's wild.
Yeah.
It was great.
Yeah, so that was in the morning. Probably by the time we finished them up, it was definitely after. It was like 1 or 2. It was
It's like one, I think.
It's a little different than getting a whitetail hanging up.
hanging up. Yeah,
Oh.
at the deer camp in Texas. It's definitely different.
Yeah, you
It's
got one-
definitely different.
Like
Yeah,
it would be
gravity
very
worked against
hard
you.
to do it just solo. Like, because I'm like holding.
I mean, like
holding
Brock is
for-
doing. How many
yeah.
times
Yeah.
have you packed out by yourself?
8.
Yeah, 550 cord and
Yeah. Oh,
And
paracord your
knowledge.
friends, sticks. Yeah.
God we're not in
You're looking
grizzly
around
country.
for notchstick to,
Yeah.
keep up a hindquarter so you
Yeah.
can get in there, tying
Yeah.
something to a tree if there's one nearby, or just using your shoulder and trying to get around.
550
my
cord and
God.
gravity helps a lot.
Shoot. Yeah, and you shoot
You figure things out.
at last light, and you're 5-6 miles back. Holy cow! Dude.
Well, yeah, because even trying to get them into your game bags without getting them all dirty and
Well, that brings
nasty.
up a whole nother topic, right? Like shooting them at last light and you're way back. You need to have a plan for that.
Always.
Like am I going to pull this trigger right now? Oh, that thing's going to fall into that canyon. Like there's no way to get it out of there.
Risking my life at this point.
Yeah,
What
it's
kind
not.
of weather? Knowing
Now
the
it's not
weather,
even worth it. Well,
Yeah.
are you going to take that shot knowing the storm's coming? No.
Yeah.
And so, like, being willing to pass on something has to cross your mind.
Yeah.
It's ethics, right? At the end of the day, you
Right.
gotta know you're still taking something's life. The purpose for us is filling the freezer and eating, right? Like, if you get some horns at the end of the day to bring home. Yeah, it's a cool trophy, something to show the kids, something to have from a memory. But we're there for food, right?
Yeah.
We like the natural nutrition that comes from it, what it does to our bodies, but ethics is the biggest part of it. And I think
sure.
Yeah.
goes back to
For sure.
taking care of doing what's right for the animal, doing what's right for you, making sure it's safe, making sure you have everything with you that if you are 6 miles back and done that, but it's with camp on your back, knowing like, hey, I'm going to shoot this. I'm going to
Yeah.
get it at least opened up, gutted. Sometimes you do gut it and you don't do gutless. Just to at least cool it down at night. Or if you've got a good enough spot, hey, let me just hang it, get all quarters off, cool down enough, and I'll deal with packing it out tomorrow or the next 2 days, whatever it may be. But you've got a plan. and goes the same thing about the last day. If it's the last day and you have to leave, especially for out-of-staters, well, if it's, say, season closes on Sunday and you've got to be home, work on Monday, so realistically you're leaving Saturday afternoon at the latest. Well, if it's Saturday at dark, last light, and you're like, well, I've got to leave because I got to be back to work Monday. I can't take another day off. Well, you can't shoot
And
that
you're not
unless
shooting.
you've got
Your
2-3
over.
guys. Yeah,
Your hunt's over, bro.
over. You got to be.
Yeah.
Well, and we'll get into the bear conversation. After the mule deer, there's a bear right there, and they're like, "Get up here!" And I'm like, "Guys, that's a
Gotta be
12
back.
hour. Like, I got to go to Fish and Game with the tee. I got to take the skull to Fish and Game. It's not going to work." And so, again, that's not even an ethical issue. Then now it's a legal issue.
Right.
Yeah, timing.
I'm gonna.
You could have driven back.
I've promised my wife that I will be back on a very specific event, and there's a lot of stuff that goes into shooting a bear.
Yeah.
Let alone the dealing with the animal on the ground.
I don't think it's a weekday.
Yeah.
Weekends are tough.
Yeah. So we get it all packed out. Also had to YouTube that a little bit. I watched a lot of videos about packing out before I left, but I just want to make sure, okay, we're doing this right. Whip out YouTube again, make sure we're loading up the packs right. Got it. Cool. Sweet. Start working. I had a hind quarter and then the head. You had a hind quarter,
Shoulder.
a shoulder, some back strap. You were packed down pretty heavy.
Yeah, I had all the scrap.
you had all the-
all we
the
left
scrap
is one
bag.
hind quarter.
Yeah, I left one hind quarter and all of our gear. So we make it back down. We're about halfway down, getting back to the truck. We take a little break. It was kind of funny.
dude-
I don't think we talked about this yet either.
Okay.
Or maybe we did.
No, go
Go
ahead.
ahead.
So remember we had a conversation about what to take out and when. Do you remember that?
Obviously not.
So just remember the last thing to come out for people that haven't been out there. If you're wanting to go do this type of hunting, the last thing you take out is the head. And you were being completely ethical. That was just a awareness, right? And so that's just keep that in mind that it's when you get to the truck.
Yeah,
we got
the meat. Yeah, you want
Yep.
that's the most important. Yeah.
well,
Some
and
people
when
it's not,
Fish and
but-
Game's
Yeah,
standing there.
and that's
Oh,
from a
right,
legal
right.
perspective.
Pretty
yeah,
important
right.
for Fish and Game.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Well, we got about halfway
We're new.
down. Yeah, we're newbies.
Yeah.
Hopefully they would give us some grace,
Well, let's
but probably
talk
not because
No,
the rules are there.
No,
Yeah.
there's no grace.
Well, let's talk about
Green Jeans doesn't give grace. They don't know that.
So we pack out, and I get on my back and load this thing up, and I'm like, I'm trying to move and I can't, and I'm like, Ryan, I think I might have packed too much.
Yeah.
And then I'm just sitting there, and I was like, dude, I have it all wrapped up. I don't want to take this thing off. And so I finally get up, and that sucker was heavy.
Yeah. Yeah, you
But
had.
I'm up, and I'm like,
we were trying to figure it out. It was well over 100 pounds.
I had to be.
Yeah.
Well, you said a hind,
Front.
a shoulder.
And this is bone in, right? You guys did
Bone
bone
in.
in.
You didn't
Yeah.
debone anything.
Shit,
Yeah.
you know,
Just
The hooves
from
were
the-
still on it.
Yeah.
blown out.
Oh, you didn't even take it
Didn't
off
even
the
take
knee?
the hooves.
I don't think we took it off. Did
Oh yeah.
Oh, we
Didn't
didn't
you
take it
said
off.
that?
Okay,
That
we
was
did
a
take it
whole
off
thing
the
in
knee.
itself, trying to figure out how to.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That was brutal.
That's why you went through
wish
so
we
many
had-
blades.
Again,
Saws
nothing will
off.
break your
Gosh,
soul
dude. Yeah.
when you're really trying to get one off, and then somebody walks up and just. You know,
Oh,
you
that's
son
terrible.
of a gun. That'll break your soul the first few times you try to do it.
But it's so funny. We're getting near the end, or like at least the point where you sat down, took a little break. He's like, "Man, someone's digging in my back, man. You gotta look, see what that is." He had there's these like little tiny cactuses out there, that are like these balls, and this is like in between the pack in his back. I'm like, dude, you got a freaking cactus in your back.
Yeah, I thought it was like a stick or something just jabbing me, but it was a cactus.
Yeah, with all that weight just freaking sinking into your body. Yeah,
We weren't questioning your toughness.
No.
I was questioning mine.
But that goes back to the
You're
point.
a
Like,
grinder.
this is a cut your teeth type hunt, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're
You'll
packing
grind.
at most, that far spot that you and I went to. If we killed an elk back there or a deer, I was going to be, I don't know, 2.5, 3 miles.
3 miles,
3 miles.
Mm-hmm.
Up a couple ridges. It'd have some elevation, but this pack out realistically not that bad, right? It's
Right.
all
No,
downhill.
Sure. Yeah.
Maybe a
Right.
mile, maybe
Yeah,
a
yeah.
mile.
It was
So-
just about a mile.
Yeah, it's not that bad in the grand scheme of pack
Yeah.
out. So if you go and your goal is to backpack in and you're a couple days back, got all your food and stuff, that's different than
You're taking a couple
day
trips.
trips. This
Yeah,
is
you're
why
not-
it's good to
yeah.
get your feet wet, make sure you can handle it because some people can't, right?
Yeah.
If they don't train, you guys are in great shape. at least from the muscle size of things, right? And you did a lot more cardio. Look at that guy.
Both of them.
You didn't see, did you see his High Rocks pictures?
They're both so
with his shirt off.
They're both so fit.
I know. It's important to make sure, right? You cut your teeth, you know what you're doing, you know what you're getting into, so you can handle that next step.
Yeah.
Because to do it right and to do it safely, if you get back there and you got to pack an elk out, whether it's by yourself or with a buddy, and you're like, man, I got to go up that mountain, down the next one, up and over. Like, there's no good trails you're cutting because you were off trail, and now you're just taking game trails out, trying to find your way. You didn't mark it on Onyx. It's in the dark. It's trying to get, you got to know what you're doing, be prepared.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, for sure.
It was a great experience for cutting your teeth, for sure.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Man, that was just, we still have a little bit more to go. We get it all offloaded into the truck. I ended up taking back, I went back up. You decided to go back hunting.
Yeah, I went back up with you and then left.
You got all your gear. I grabbed the last hind, took it down, took everything back to camp, put it in coolers, and he kept hunting. Mm-hmm. So that's when Dave gave us the elk spaghetti. So he gave me some elk spaghetti. I think you got some of that too, right?
Yeah, the spaghetti was legit.
It was so good. Yeah, good dudes there. Good dudes. But made it back to pick you up, and that's when you had your little, you love Jesus moment. I love Jesus.
Oh, yeah.
Jesus love you. Walking back in the dark.
Yeah, so I was like, well, I'm going to go hunt by myself. No big deal, Steven. You're a man, and you got this. Like,
be a wuss.
Don't be a wuss. And so went up and hunted that night, and saw a bunch of elk. I mean, I saw probably 40 come through, migrate through, but they were far. I mean, they were probably 800-900 yards, and it was getting close to dark, and there's no way I was going to make it over there to shoot one. But yeah, so it gets dark, and
And you had the last load to bring out?
No,
you had already
Ryan
done.
had already done.
Yeah, Ryan took the last hindquarter.
Okay, so you're by yourself.
Yeah, so I was by myself, and I'm walking out, and it's dark, and when you have somebody like experienced or somebody ahead of you, you're just kind of walking and just following suit, like cattle. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But when you're by yourself, from my experience of it, I was like walking and then trying to stay on trail, but also like looking around, like, is something going to get me?
Cobwebs.
And then, singing Jesus Loves Me, just so.
Gosh, that video is so funny.
It was quite the experience because I kept going off trail somehow, and I'd look over and it's cliff, and you wouldn't die, but it would hurt. Yeah. And so I was off trail, and finally I was like, okay, I'm done with this. And so I found it was a steep spot, but I knew I could make it down, and I just hurled down the mountain. I was like, I don't care how much noise I make. The more noise, the better, because nothing's gonna get me, hopefully.
Yeah.
And so finally hooked it down the trail to make it to the truck to eat some elk spaghetti, which was nice.
Yeah, you had a little microwave in the back, had it nice and warm for you.
The microwave.
Did you have your headlamp at that point?
Yeah.
You had because you lost it. Remember when we were going up, we had lost it, and so were you borrowing?
You
one
had
of
an
Steven's?
I had an extra one,
piece of junk or something.
Piece of junk. I mean, you couldn't see anything, so I lost my good one.
Yeah, when you rolled off.
When I
we were
rolled
going
off
up
the
that
mountain.
first. Yeah.
I took so many spills.
Maybe we'll find that next year.
Maybe that's why the gun wasn't working.
It could be.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Could have just damaged it.
But the dark's not for everyone. I mean, the dark that'll test you, especially in your out of your environment and in the wilderness.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because I didn't grow up like that. You didn't have to. You didn't have to worry about stuff getting you. You know what I mean? Or like,
I mean, there's mountain lions in this area. There's bears. There are wolves.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Most
I
things
told
are
y'all
scary.
I had a bear experience when I was a kid in Omak, Washington, on Lake Omak, and got into a cub, and Mom was not happy with me.
Grizz? Black bear.
No, black bear.
Really?
Yeah, jumped off, like we were jumping off the side of this cliff into the lake anyways, and so we just like hauled butt, got away from her.
Wow.
And so there's a little
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
they're there.
They're
They're there.
Mhm.
They're there.
Luckily, it
They
wasn't
don't wanna
grizzly
mess with
country.
humans.
God.
I might have been 8 or 9. Yeah.
That's
Have you gone off and hunted by yourself in grizzly country?
No, never.
No. Man, I hear some of these guys on these
I have a bit of a
podcasts that do
phobia.
that. Man, you want to?
Well,
No, I've got a bit of a phobia for,
you do?
for grizz.
Yeah.
This year we should draw Wyoming for archery elk, and there's a chance that we're, a lot of that is grizz country.
Mm-hmm.
The stats on that are if you have more than, each person you have, you're infinitely less likely to run into grizzly. And the odds of actually seeing a grizzly, and they're very low. Right? I mean, I've been to Yellowstone, done Teton, I've been to Wyoming a bunch. I've never actually seen one. Been to Idaho, I've never seen a grizzly. Alaska, But yeah, they're there. They're there.
Problem is when you get something down.
Yeah, that's especially
Now they're
late September.
now they're hungry, and that's when you want all those extra eyes.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a very good reason why you can't hunt grizzly, brown bear, and Dall sheep by yourself without a guide as a non-resident in Alaska, because Mother Nature's fickle. She's gonna kill you real quick.
Yeah.
So we get to day 6, and we're tired at this point too, because we had the day before we packed out, and it's nearing the end of the trip too. So you just the sleepless nights, and then now we're burning all those dang calories, from packing out and everything. So day 6, you're still gone. Tom, you make
I'm
it
packing
over.
up to leave,
That's
right?
where you
Oh,
leave
no.
at 3 o'clock. It's where you wake up at 3 in the morning to go beat the guys,
Beat
other
the
guys
other
to that
dudes.
spot.
Yeah.
But
You
that
did
was your
that.
last day.
Then they walk in right on me.
Yeah.
Didn't
So,
work.
No,
work.
unfortunately, it didn't work. But you gave it a shot.
Yeah, whatever. Game
That's what it
plans.
takes. Yeah, game plan. So anyway, Steve and I made it up to the same exact spot. Test our luck again. Where I shot the elk, and then so we make it up there. It's kind of reverse order. So we get about halfway up, and then I turn around. I'm like, dude, are you just so exhausted and tired right now? And he's like, yeah, this is the last time I'm coming up here. 10-4. All right, I agree with you. So,
but luckily, Ryan shot his elk and still came up with me to help.
Oh yeah,
Good hunting
You know what I
partner.
mean?
Ready to
Good
make it
hunting
happen,
partner.
for sure.
But yeah, that was the last time I was going up that mountain. Dude. I was so dog tired.
Yeah.
So dog tired.
Your batteries.
When
are
your feet were
definitely-
hurting you at that point after the
feet
pack
were
out.
ruined.
Was that when you shot your mule deer though?
Mm-hmm.
So no, I was already gone.
Yeah, you had left that
I didn't
morning.
go up that morning.
It must have been the morning before.
Oh, you
then.
started packing. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. You just
I
started
was
to
like
get
sitting
camp
on
ready.
you guys.
and-
Yeah, that was,
Or
I-
get your things ready.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's right. That's
so
right.
For the listeners, I have a very stern. The one promise made was that the kids are still really into Halloween. I'll be back for Halloween. She's
Yeah.
like, you can hunt whatever you want,
Yeah.
whenever you want. Like I go hog hunting with my buddies for Father's Day. She doesn't care about that.
Mm-hmm.
But Halloween, you better be back. And so
Yeah.
I had a very hard timeline.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hard timeline.
Yeah. Because Halloween
That-
was on Saturday.
That some
Or
boys
Friday.
Friday.
Yeah.
I had a hard timeline that some boys decided to.
Tested it a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because was day 6 on Wednesday or Thursday?
So that was
Thursday.
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 That would have been Thursday.
Yeah.
Because I was rolling Thursday.
Yeah, you had to roll. Yeah, so we get up there to the same exact glassing spot, and then I'm you're taking your sweet time, getting your pack off. It's kind of exact
sweet
the day
time.
before he got up there, started looking around. I'm like kind of fooling around with the packs and stuff, and so I get up there, start looking around, looking down to the to the left where the elk were. Didn't really see anything, and I start scanning up to the right where we saw the other group of elk. And next thing you know, I catch a glimpse of some mule deer. So okay, so there's something that's cool. And then I see antlers. Like, holy shit! It wasn't just like the little little forky. I mean, this was. I think
You're
this
like,
was
is that a buck?
This is a buck.
Yeah.
I'm like, holy cow! I was like, Steven, get up here. So I think we initially got you set up right there, but we ranged and it was like, it was far. It was way too far. Probably 700, 800 yards or something like that. So. We start working our way up the same little trail that we took when we initially on day whatever that
It's
was.
like a spine between
Yeah.
these two two basins, and there's a spine that runs up, so you can shoot really either way, but you got a much better view to the left.
Yeah,
so that
right.
spine keeps
Yeah.
you on top, so you're over the brush.
Exactly. But it was
Yeah.
still like really kind of tough because the muleys, they were up in this group of 3 or 4 pines, and there was all that that shin oak or whatever that brush oak. So trying to get a good vantage point on them and see them was pretty tough. So we work our way up the spine, get to a spot. Maybe we try to make it work, but that problem, he was behind a pine tree at that point. So we keep working away. We finally get to a spot where, okay, there he is. Get him set up on my sticks. And at this point, we left his rifle back, obviously. Unreliable, a piece of crap. It's like very nice rifle, but a little bitty piece in the rifle that had to be replaced. But anyway, so we got set up, and then I ranged it. And what did I say it was?
658, I think.
658 yards.
658, 653.
And Steven's a good shot. We went out to Tom's place.
Yeah.
We're shooting metal at 750, and we knew it was
The gun's capable.
guns capable.
You guys have
we-
done it.
We've done it. I mean, it's a little late in the hunt and all that. So, I don't know. We were like, yeah, let's give it a shot. So he got pretty
well, and
stable.
You had energy in the bullet. If you know your data, you know. Like,
plenty of
statistically, it's not a challenge. That 7 PRC
on a muley.
I still have foot pounds. It's not a bad decision.
Yeah,
smash it.
So
we were working on broken trekking poles, though. Remember?
Yeah. Oh gosh. My trekking poles. Yes, so we didn't realize they were broken until we were trying to get you set up, and the whole top of my trekking pole like came off, and then I looked at it. It was, it just snapped. I'm like, oh my gosh! But no, it was able to still slide in, so I was able to put the top back in. So he's still able to use them. Thank goodness.
Yeah.
So, anyways, he gets ready, range at 658. All right, man, let it happen. So I'm in the binos looking up. He shoots. Miss. He did miss that first one, which is okay. Yeah. Racked another one, so I racked another. And then, we had the suppressor on the rifle. So, and it's a long shot. So, they kind of looked up, looking around. They don't know what the heck just happened. I was like, hit him again or shoot him again or try again. And I'm in the bino still. And then, boom. And I see the impact on it. Whoosh, it hits the side. I'm like, you freaking got him, man. So he ran off to the right behind the pines. I was like, stay on, rack again. And then luckily he came back down from the pine tree, maybe, 15, 20 yards or something like that. Mm-hmm. I could tell though, when you hit it, it was a little far back. So he was doing that whole hunchback thing. And I was like, hit him again. Boom. And right in the shoulder. Yeah. I saw the impact again. I was like, damn, you fucking did it, man. Yeah. It was. Yeah, dude, that was so, like you said, seeing somebody else like shoot something is real. It's almost better. It's almost better.
All those sore feet and sore back went away.
That goes away real quick. Real quick when the adrenaline's pumping.
The adrenaline pumps in.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it was so great, man. It was so awesome. So he took the picture this time, figure out where he was. He kind of marked it on. Knew he was 658 yards. Kind of marked that, and you could do the little line from where we were, drop the pin up to the mountain, and so by the time we got up there, it was much easier to find him just because we were a little bit, a little more
experienced that time.
Yeah, more experienced. So,
because that first shot that I took, I was worried about him getting behind that pine and going up.
Yeah.
And not coming back out the side of that pine. Mm-hmm. So I was like,
right.
I could barely see enough of him of the window. And luckily, not luckily I missed. I wish I would have hit him. But regardless, at least he came back out that side to get a good clear shot of him.
Yeah, I think it took a couple of minutes for him to come back out into broadside type shot, but yeah, we made our way up there, and like you said, so my trekking poles broke at this time. Like, that kind of sucks. And then we make our way up there. We found them. We told you guys we have mule deer down, and then we get up there and we start looking through our packs, and so Brock the night before, or 2 nights before, he had made fun of me about my blades and all these. I have way too many blades. So I took out all the blades, but I didn't leave an extra one in there. So it's definitely my fault for sure. I didn't leave it, 1 or 2 extra.
We didn't repack up.
So you didn't go through it after the
after the elk. That's right.
Because you had used.
Yeah, I used a couple with the elk, and I took so I didn't put more blades back into my kill kit, and for whatever reason, Steven also did not have his blades, so we're working on 2 dull blades. We start working away on the mule deer. We realize, oh my gosh, we only have 2 dull knives right now. So we're telling Tom this.
Well, so the beauty is, I actually wasn't aware of the downed animal. I'm packing up, just enjoying my morning coffee. I think I'm in my underwear, walking around, like I'm walking back and forth in like long johns to the truck, filling up the Suburban. I had put my phone in my Suburban, so I didn't even know any of this was occurring. So then I get in and there's not great service there anyway. So I start to drive off, and my phone just starts blowing up, and I'm getting notifications on the screen of my vehicle, and I'm like, what is going on? So then I'm trying to figure out what just there's a mule deer. Okay, cool. And then I get to the text that says, Tom, have you left yet? And I was like,
yes.
Technically, I've left. I'm like, I'm just leaving camp.
I'm on I-70. Sorry, guys.
I'll find you. And I get out, and then where y'all parked, not great service. And I get out, so I have to pass y'all, get out to I-70.
Oh gosh,
get service back again.
Yeah.
Well, I knew where your truck was.
Okay.
So then I was like, send me all the pins. And you guys are like, are you sure? Don't, and I'm like, no, send me the pins. I'm coming. And the beauty was I had a new Everly stock, their new mod. And so I was able to strip down to just my frame pack and the top bag and brought just my kill kit. I think I brought
water or something.
I think I brought, I had water in my bino harness and all that stuff. And so I had the essentials and then maybe a couple snacks and just
blades,
sprint and
blades. He did have blades.
Yeah, there was a please bring a kill kit.
Yeah.
Well, I guess before all that happened too, that's when we went back down to the original. So I marked the spot where he shot, and we went back down to where the glassing spot was that I shot the bull, and then that's when we saw that big.
And then you see the bear.
He was a big,
golly.
big.
Yeah,
Like, Tom, hurry up and get over here. But he was, even if you tried, it wasn't going to happen because he was moving. Like,
sure.
Yeah.
He wasn't just casually, looking around, grazing around, whatever. He was on a mission. So
all good.
But yeah, he was in. He was about 480 yards or something, and it's like, damn, wish we had a bear tag. But
big bear.
Yeah,
For
it was
$100.
It was a big one. Yeah,
150, whatever it is now.
But yeah, you make your way back up there, and
found you guys on a carcass, and
you started hacking.
On her, and
thank God,
fun. So much fun.
Yeah,
man, that view. Where you shot that thing, that was probably the best view of the entire trip.
That was cool,
It was a great view.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's that big
throw that
tower was
picture
right
on
above
there.
that monument tower or whatever. It was right above us. So that was, it was cool.
That was a
cool.
great view.
But yeah, so we get back down and get it all
And
offloaded.
we caped it too.
Caped it.
Like fully caped her and him. But I had to do some caping. It was fun.
Yeah. So when we got back down the truck, we got everything offloaded. We met those ranchers who happened to be the ranch managers, all this big land around where we were. So we got their contact info. It's good, some good info, good contact info to have for, He said if we ever shoot anything and it happens to go on their side, like just let them know or whatever.
Did you ever find out where, because they mentioned that they had hunted Aoudad in Texas. Did you ever ask them where?
I still have the, I know, I've never.
They said they were coming down to Texas frequently or periodically.
Yeah.
They said they had shot Aoudad down there, Lakey or something like that.
Well, that mule deer pack out wasn't the easiest pack out either, the route we took anyways. I mean,
the route got weird.
It got funky. I don't know how we didn't end up going the same way we went up.
We got around to that
course.
road, but the road was actually not good for us, so we had to
goodness gracious.
The road was going to kick us out basically at 70.
It goes into private.
Yeah.
Loops back,
Then my last trekking pole snapped too, so I'm not no trekking pole. So I ended up taking your other one. We just each had one. So I'm due for some more trekking poles for next trip.
And then we came across a pretty cool camp. You know where that camp is?
Yeah, it's a cool spot.
Be a good spot. Somebody obviously put some time and love into that thing.
Maybe that's a good spot to be, but
ground.
I don't know. Packing up
there's a lot of elk sign in there too, though. Like it's one of those where I always get a little hesitant about going into where they live, where they're pushing through. I mean, I'd rather take that extra half mile, 3/4 mile, and just make that trek every day. Just to stay out 100%. Of there.
Well, and those ranchers said that.
They were amazed that we did that.
Be careful about sleeping in there.
Oh, the bears.
Because they were asking us. They were like, you guys sleeping in there? And we're like, no. They're like, that's probably a good idea. There's a lot of bears in there. We're like, oh, good call.
These guys live here. They know the land, and they were like, man, y'all did that pack out? That's pretty hardcore. So that's kind of go to show, it was intense for sure. It was only a mile, but, like you said, it was kind of like a sandy-ish type of loose. The ground was real loose and pretty decent incline. So
especially going up the mountain.
Yeah.
We kind of pointed at the route, and they were like looking at us, and they're like, all right.
Yeah.
Well, respect.
Yeah.
It helps to track your routes in Onyx or whatever mapping software you use, just to make sure you know and know whether it's a good one or not a good one. Right. And then you can pivot from there. But have them mapped as logged, recorded.
For sure. The last embarrassing thing that happened is, we're just dog tired, ready to leave at this point. Steve and I had to go back and get the camp, packed up and everything. And so Tom, we're all getting in the trucks. Tom gets in a Suburban, and, Steven starts backing up. And then Tom you hear, this weird, grinding noise in the Steven's truck. And then Tom is jumping out of his Suburban. He's like, stop. Once we got back down from the mountain, I had set my rifle up against the tire, his front tire. And, we were talking to those ranchers for a while, getting everything else in the truck. And then it's just so dang tired. I forgot about my rifle. Yeah. And we
found it.
We found it. It was absolutely covered in mud. Anyway, so it looked okay. The barrel was loose with the stock, but I ended up taking it to Twisted Precision, and that thing was like, big old bow in it. So luckily, Savage replaced it. Right? Yeah, got a new barrel.
Shout out to Savage.
Shout out to Savage. I mean, that's pretty money of them.
Yeah.
They didn't have to do that.
Yeah, I know. That was crazy, but yeah.
So the warranty covers being a dumbass.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I might buy a Savage because I'm a dumbass. Yeah. That might be helpful one day.
You just got a new one.
For sure.
You won the one at the RMEF event.
Oh, yeah. Another, that's 7 millimeter 08. Yeah. I think that's kind of a cool, because you can find those rounds pretty easy, is what I've heard. And, it's kind of a nice little truck gun. It was just like an Axis, Savage Axis or whatever. But yeah, I won that at the Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation.
Bang around. It'll.
Yeah. It's probably for super
kill
accurate.
Some pigs.
Yeah. It'll pick gun or something.
Good pick gun.
But yeah, I mean, that was our hunt. We made it back to Texas, absolutely exhausted, and man, it was a good time. And then you went back to.
Well, I felt bad because Steven and I wanted to go, invited you along, and then you brought Tom in too. But from the beginning, my intention was to hunt with you guys and to have this experience and hunt with some buddies in this spot. And so I was all down for that. I got very fortunate in
very forgiven.
Yeah. In a raffle, won the statewide bighorn tag for bighorn sheep tag for Colorado last year. So my whole priority shifted, but at the same time, I didn't want to leave you guys out to dry, knowing it was your first time. Right. You're having someone else who at least had experience big game hunting, and so you had some knowledge, but I didn't know Tom.
Yeah, right.
And so I at least wanted to spend a couple days. I had hunted, a week and a half for sheep in September, hadn't found one I wanted, so I was coming back for 2 weeks. So I spent 3 days with y'all, and then bombed off. And since I could hunt the whole state, I started to pick away from some spots closest to there that I wanted to hunt. So I left that morning and hunted some stuff that was about an hour and a half away, and then just made my way across the rest of the state trying to find a sheep, and ended up killing one on another trip later in November. But so I was glad to at least be able to spend time with you guys, and unfortunately I wasn't there for the big fun and the pack outs and to teach you hands on about how to do gutless and all that. But you guys figured it out, and that's part of the process, right? Like everyone, I figured it out on my own. You guys figured it out on your own. It's fun, but that's the journey, right? You learn it, and you gotta learn by doing oftentimes. And so well, the whole other beast is going to be, and I really want to get into this, is bow hunting. That's a whole nother ball game as far as what you need to know. And so hopefully actually there's a chance this year could get drawn for some bow hunting for you, for sure, right? I mean, Wyoming or Montana. Wyoming for elk,
But you and I both put in for New Mexico too, so there's a chance there for September.
Next week.
I hope next year.
Next
week.
Next week?
Next week for New Mexico.
I thought
we got a month for Wyoming.
Don't they say mid-April too, or they have an actual
22nd from what I saw when I looked online is the estimated date.
So, but that's gonna be a whole nother experience.
Just waiting for the oryx to come back.
Oh yeah, you should find out at the same time, right? Should.
Yeah, everything's that day.
Everything in New Mexico comes back. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, but I mean that was our hunt. We're looking forward to getting back out there and doing that again. We all put in for something. You put in for preference points, but you get over the counter.
Yeah, now it's OTC.
Yeah.
We'll see what we can talk Steven into. And there's leftover tags. That's the cool thing, right? Yeah. You never know what comes up. Monitor that. Other states, alternate lists, different things.
You can always just do a bear tag or something too.
Well, and then if y'all pull for bow hunt, New
Mexico, pack mule.
Right. Yeah, I'll come.
Yeah, we'll mid High Rocks training for Dallas.
Yeah, right. You said you'd be down for a camping trip, right?
Yeah.
Well, you might. Well, New Mexico's tough. I mean,
when's your New Mexico?
September 1st to 14th.
I think we went for the first.
Part. I'd come. Yeah. I'd come along. I'll be the film guy.
There you go. Start filming these hunts. That'd be fun. We kind of did with my cell phone, but
no, we hunt quietly. Should we shout out to to Rennell, Matt Rennell?
Oh.
We hunt quietly.
We hunt quietly. Yeah.
But yeah, so that was our hunt. Looking forward to doing this again for sure, guys, and appreciate y'all coming on and kind of talking about our little hunting trip.
Yeah, appreciate y'all.
It's kind of just a more fun episode.
Yeah.
I mean, they're all fun, but
yeah, I would say
a couple
things too. It's fun. I think the mental aspect going in every day, right? The positivity, we touched on that. Having people that want to stick with it, that are in a good mindset, right? You were done a couple of times and I was texting you. You're like, dude, I'm spent. My feet are hurt. And you're like, stick it out, right?
Yep.
One more trip up there, it will end up happening if you put in. You know you're in the right spots. But I mean, we were praying before we were going out on hunts in the morning together. We were, asking for safety. We were listening to Brandon Lake and Jelly Roll and, listening to all sorts of good stuff to get ourselves in the right mindset going into these hunts. And I think it was good to have that camaraderie and, have that time and reflection together. And I think that's a big piece of it too, right? Yeah, I hunt a lot by myself, and it's one thing I get that time to reflect on what's important to me and where I need to be in life and, personal position with God. But to do it as a group is a whole another thing. So I think it was a lot of fun. Glad we could get to share camp together, and it's good to get to meet Tom. And,
I've got a buddy. I'll piggyback. You're so well spoken, so I'll just piggyback on what you said. I've got a buddy that says frequently. He says it frequently that I've hunted with guys one time a lot. Like that, you realize really quickly if you don't want to hunt with somebody again, and that. When you find a group that you can go back up with, because they'll come back when they've already killed, and they'll they'll do the little thing like go when they don't even have a tag. Right? So it's important to find the right group. So don't let it, if you're new to it, don't let it discourage you if you are still seeking that group to go with.
Yeah,
and there's enough forums. I mean, Rock Slide, I'm on all the time. I have buddies that I have met through Rock Slide that I'm planning hunts with. Right?
No kidding.
So,
really?
Yeah, I've met a couple years ago, and we text, if not daily, weekly with a couple guys that, right? That's
crazy.
Yeah. So you can find groups. There's enough forums that you can say like, hey, I'm going out here. Anyone want to, hunt together? Or if you're by yourself, you don't want to hunt by yourself, you're afraid of the dark, whatever it may be. Right. Or so you can find that. I mean, you obviously want to do a little due diligence. You don't want to walk into something that's not safe or you're not comfortable, but whether you're FaceTime.
Do you think Dave and Barney are available for me?
They might. Maybe
can I stay in their trailer?
You can.
I'll stay in their trailer.
My buddy
with them.
stayed with. Dave has offered for me to stay in that trailer a couple times, and I politely turned him down.
Too. Man, he had a thing blasting the heater.
There's so much spilled Budweiser in that.
A lot of Budweiser.
A lot of Budweiser.
I really hope Dave doesn't listen to this.
I don't think he will.
He probably don't know.
I'll send it to him.
Yeah.
I got his number.
That's funny. Well, this was fun. So if anybody wants to reach out to you guys and just talk about hunting, if they have questions, where can they hunt you guys?
Don't find me. No.
Please don't reach out.
I'm on
Instagram and all that. Yeah. Tom Gromus.
Sure.
Just look up Tom
somewhere
Gromus,
in there.
You can find him. Brock.
I'm not really on socials, but I do have it. I think it's Brock_Carroll on Instagram. LinkedIn is probably easiest. You can hit up the laundromats in Kerrville, find me there bouncing around. Yeah, it's I'm around town. You can find me.
Guy with a big bag of quarters. That's
I do like quarters.
Quarters. Hilarious. Well, guys, appreciate y'all coming on. And for our listeners, if you're watching on YouTube, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Hit that little bell if you get so you can get notified anytime we put out podcasts just like this. And of course, if you're on Apple or Spotify, if you could leave us a review and maybe just leave a little comment too, what you thought, what we could do better, all that good stuff. That helps us get our episodes out there. So outside of that, it was fun, guys.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Looking forward to the next one.
Yeah, for sure.
Peace out.